grubby, but we're all good now. We're listening on the app, coming through loud and clear. It's very interesting interview with Nick and that history. We touched on grubby and where the club was at. He wasn't even here, and it's fantastic. And again, the importance of having a footy club in a small community is massive.
I know when I text them, they're just going to carry on, but I've already done a bit of research on it. I just needed people to know that, because we know Mick, he's a knockabout bloke. When it comes to Inverleigh, he was the main part of getting back, and I just wanted people to know that.
We might just carry on with the games of the round to talk to you about Geelong. I spoke to Mitch White this morning. Pretty excited about where they're at, and he's confident about what they've got as a group. Today, they take on today. They take on Belmont. And again, he's very wary. He said he's been watching a lot of Belmont video, and he knows there's a big gap between their best and worst, and their best is to be very highly respected, so they're not going to be expecting to be easy.
No, they're not. And then, you can say they're going all right, but it's all about what one of them is built.
Yeah.
They're still about what they do, but yes, they've shown glimpses in corners that they can play football. And I think Nathan Gisson's now got to try and roll at him to have four quarters of really good footy, and then they'll give some teams a real take. West, well, yes, they're sitting on top, but they've had a dream for West. They've had a really good football. They got Bannockburn first up to 9, and they've been pretty good ever since, but they haven't played anybody ever since. So their task is coming. They've got a few games in a row now that have to happen. They're running out of team, running out of games. They have to go and play the top side. But what that means is come round 2, they play all these sides again. So what it is, I've looked at West over the last couple of years, it's more tough. But you ask Alan more about why this happens, why that happens, it's a rolling ball. So eventually these sides that have tough runs are going to have a bit of an easier draw. And I reckon it's coincided with this time, their easier draw has coincided with their best side. They've got their best side on the paddock, right, that they've had for many a long day. So I think with their draw, and if they can pinch a couple of games on the top side, I think they can finish top 3. But if they can't beat the good sides, they'll still make the 5. They've got no problem making the 5.
No short example today. They've got Gold Coast Hill, East Geelong, and Inverleigh in the game.
Well, I knew that was coming up. Yeah, had to.
Speaking of which, he was saying that he was in this competition had 70 races on 60 actually run. So they've actually built a pretty good base there. Players there this year. Obviously, the draw was going to help them somewhat, but again, they still got to be back. Where we last week they played. So it's again, they've been going along pretty well. They've got great opportunity to set themselves up for the whole year. What we need to get this afternoon, I think they'll do the right.
Yeah, I agree with you both there. Let's go the other big game, Thompson hosting Bannockburn. Thompson up against a good side last week, struggled a little bit. Bannockburn have been probably surprised to say they've had some really big days, but probably evenly matched at Thompson.
You would think so. I watched them at night at West, and by the way, that was a fantastic game to watch. That was the best game of the round, I think. And they looked all right. They looked good. I had for some reason, I had the idea that they weren't going to be quite as good as they were last year until I saw them out here at Inverleigh. Inverleigh's the measuring stick, and they damn near beat them. And they could have beaten them. I think the quarter went for 28, and all the others went for 31. So they could have beat them. I reckon they got themselves up for that game, and I reckon they may have played above themselves. But they know that they can play that standard then. Even if it was above themselves, they can continue to play that standard of footy. And they're going to be a real, they're going to give sides a real hard time. I think they'll give Thompson a hard time today. Because Thompson, we never really knew what was going on with Thompson. They were sitting up there undefeated, and all of a sudden, last week, East, when it counted, East beat them and beat them easy. So Thompson has still got a lot of work to do. I don't think Brett McLeod's playing today. They lost him 10 seconds into the game last week. So I don't know. I think it's at Thompson. Is it at Thompson in this game? That gives him a real chance to squeeze it up, tighten it up, and then on that ground. But I just think I'm going to go for Bannockburn to beat them out there, actually.
Yeah, a couple of weeks back though, we saw
the season.
Yep.
Sides lose players, sides gain momentum and all that. Like the sides you see in that round one should be a lot better in round 4, 5 and 6 or whatever. But sometimes if they lose players, they're not as good. So I think it's all swings and roundabouts. And hopefully when we get to the finals, the top 5 sides in there, they've got their best sides, they're playing their best, and they'll have a great series.
So Thompson, they're ruckman, was he in their side this week? Green as a Cam?
I don't know. He went out a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if he's back.
Bad. Someone said it was a pretty bad injury.
Johnny Mitchell was listening.
So that might be worthwhile.
Your favourite player and probably no doubt the best player in the competition, Joel Bennett, turned one on last week, 52 possessions, but even with a game they could try and keep pace. This week they've got Gold Coast Hill coming, they'll probably struggle again.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you why, because Shawnee O'Leary with COVID issues won't be here today, and he's listening to our live stream, and he can barely hear us. So whether we can turn that up or not, I don't know. I'm not that technically minded, but hopefully we can. So what was your question, Rob?
No, he was just saying about Belpost Hill and the game there with Joel Bennett's performance last week, 52 possessions, could get over the line. And the game was in today, Belpost Hill, still no deal with him back on that side. So,
It's not allowed.
well, I understand that. They've still had 2 or 3 of their other players didn't play. Fisher, was he back rucking for them now? I was going, I don't pick up a paper on Friday.
Well, it doesn't matter whether you do or whether you don't, because the sides they put in are put in on Wednesday, and you never ever really know who's playing anyway. So unless you get a team sheet at the ground, the only teams we're going to know for sure are the teams that are playing here today.
Yep.
So we just have to go on what we've seen. Belpost will win that well. 52 possessions is a hell of a lot of possessions, and I'm not quite sure out there blokes can actually count properly. I hope they can, but that's a lot of touches. You still get beat by a lot of goals, but you know, as we've said every week, you're doing everything right. I'd love to see Dylan Shelley and a few of them back in the side, because that'll make it a lot better. But at the moment they're not.
They're not in what reason?
I don't know. I'm thinking that he's injured. I don't know.
Yep.
But you know, Joel Bennett and then Toby's come to the fore too with a playing pretty good footy. 2 blokes can't carry your side. You need help. And I know they've got a few out there. Justin Burns playing well. There's a couple other blokes coming back on it. Mark Stewart does his job even though he's 73 years old. But they need a bit more to help. They can't beat Belfast all day, but they're going all right, and it's a good place to play now. Right? You don't have to look over your shoulder and see what's coming. It's a lovely place to be. So anyone who around that area wants to play football, get out to the Devils playground and have a go.
Indeed. 2 ripper games for sides at the bottom of the mantle level. We saw Anarchy last week. They're going wherever you're talking about the woes and wherever his injuries and offense is growing. We saw Anarchy last week, and I know lack of skill, but you got to find their tenacity. How do you reckon that'll go?
Well, I went over there. A little bit better is. I went over there Thursday night. I don't like all these whinging about injuries and all that stuff. That just gives me the earwax. So I went over there and I told Al, write your best team out. So he did. Then I went through it. They'd had until last week 13 out. Sorry. Lloydie done a hammy, and 2 blokes went away on holidays in the middle of the footy season. So they've got now 16 out of their best 22 not playing. So a lot of times I'll say, oh, they got injuries. And people say, oh, everyone's got injuries. Don't get me wrong, you know what I'm like. I used to go against Werribee just to make sure that I'm not being biased against them, but I do have to defend them. And it hurts me to the quick when you see them getting beat by 20 goals. That never happened down there. But Anarchy we saw last week, they've improved. They almost pulled off a win against North Geelong. Just a couple of little things that had gone their way, like Luke Parker not turning up, and they might well have beat them. But I think Anarchy haven't won a game all last year and a bit the year before. I got a funny feeling. I think their second's won by about 39 points. And they're only lost one game, their second. So that's a heroic effort out there. But I think Anarchy will win. They'll beat Werribee. They just haven't got enough players there.
We do know 3 key players turned up for training this weekend. Keith Kazoo, 3 better on. And there's just a little bit more of that finishing skill. That last kick in the forward really was badly last week.
Yeah, it did.
They're a chance. Another one which is really interesting, North Geelong are hosting Winchelsea, and they're probably tracking along about the same. Maybe the Blues slightly better, but North at home.
North had, from what I heard, we've beaten them there. Had a function last week and made the function. 7 of their players are coming from COVID. So I'm not too sure if their senior players or reserve players, but they were really struggling to find players to fill their seconds up. So going, that's the senior players have lost, which most of the time that happens all the time when they're not going well. You lose your better players, these sort of things. You're going to have blokes come up, so it's going to be a big Just on what we've seen so far, I think we shall see a bit of game of football. If Geelong can hang in there and give something, that might give us some opportunity. I just can't see that.
Yeah, I'll go with you. I was probably going to tip North because it was North. Because I reckon you're right. They're both tracking pretty much the same. North really struggled against Anarchy, but as we've said, Anarchy have improved. And Winch have been up and down as well. If those 7 COVID blokes from North Geelong are mainly senior players, which will probably be, I don't know what's going to happen to their second because they're already trying to pull in blokes to play because they haven't got the same problem as a few clubs. They've got to bring around the parks and get somebody to come and play. You know, it's unbelievable. They might even have to bring one of the greatest legends of all time, the great Sydney Jones, to come down. But they wouldn't play minutes. They'd throw him straight there once, Jones. He's only 60. They'll throw him straight there once. I would anyway. So look, I'm going to go for Winch if this COVID stuff is 17. If they can't win,
We haven't got much time. Match of the day here. We've seen Inverleigh, like we've seen, wobbly a bit Anzac Day, but East looked very poor in the last quarter against Gold Coast Hill. Maybe better than that, enough to tackle Inverleigh.
Well, the performance week after was... Oh, sorry,
good on you,
sorry,
mate.
mate.
Go on, go.
The performance from week to week is a little bit inconsistent. As I said, they really struggled against Gold Coast Hill. I thought the more reports during the start of the season, this would be one team a good test in play. But on that game there alone, until we have seen them, I couldn't say that. But then they turn around last week and then Thompson and beat them convincingly. So, you know, better conditions today, you just don't know whether the match up with Gold Coast Hill, but boy, ain't going to make it any easy for them. But I think we will win that game. Margin might not be as big as I first thought.
Okay, before you do keep going, you got any response to the caning you got this morning of Mark Spider Brady?
Well, I'll just have to tell Mike Spider Brady that,
Dump up.
no, I won't.
Getting ready.
Yeah. No, it's all good. No. As I said, Spider, you can cook your meal anytime, but he knows he's welcome out of my place. He knows I get a better steak and eggs out of my place, not just bacon and eggs at your place. So, and as for Mitch, you probably never get invited to these places anyway.
No, no.
Before we go back to the studio, one word answer. Who's the winner?
I'm going to go for Inverleigh.
There's your point.
Dave, we'll go back to you. Clear a couple
All right.
of we'll be back here for the start of the match of the day.
Okay, no worries. Look, just to let you know.
The first quarter, brought to you by Commencement Hotel.
overcast, everyone's ready and in position. We're excited. We're excited to see East Geelong put in a better performance than they did against Belpost Hill, and we always love watching Inverleigh play. Match of the day, Dale Smith, take it away.
Yes, siren is sounded here, and as I said, Ruckman about to go at it, back in the side, over the top, Wilson McLean take it out, allow the Ruckman to handle away, and again, they run through the middle, goes to McIntyre, he actually missed him, picked up by Gerard coming the other way, he gets the handball outside to Tyker looks up and goes short, into the forward line, Grunt will come down, hands up, and takes the mark, goes on with the foot now, goes quickly into the forward line, good kick, Coolwell will take the mark, goes to the ground, ball was kicked off the ground, so East Geelong with some numbers out, and they were working towards the half-back line, and picked up out there. That was by Dowsett. Dowsett goes over the top, and it's going to be picked up there by Burke. He's taking the tackle. Ball comes out in the tackle. They're working pretty hard both sides at ground level. Love's over the top of the ball, and O'Keefe also the ball will be held up. Umpire will take possession of the ball.
That's not holding the ball. He actually took it off him.
So the ball was in between the centre wing and the half-forward line. But in the front position again, tapping the ball down, ground level. O'Keefe dives on it. It's emerged. Player from East Geelong comes here. It wasn't picked up by Tyke, goes to Gerard, wants to get back on his left foot and does so. Goes long back into the forward line. Players are pushed underneath the ball. Dixon comes through, can't take clean possession. It's got now to the half-back line. Gallardo has it. He is tackled and it's going to be held up. Actually, Mitch Helmore is a tackle there. Now ball throw up in this forward position. Ball comes down, picks up the hands of McIntyre. He goes out wide and Lowe takes the mark on the half-back line. So Lowe now plays on. Goes further afield, got a player in Menzies out by himself, he takes the mark, swings back towards the middle, asks the player now by the umpire, he goes longer into the forward line, goes looking for Smith, ball is touched over the boundary line, it's going to be a throw in, forward pocket for East Geelong.
They're going to need to get a bit out of their kicks today, aren't they? The kicks were down a little bit against Belpost, but they were wonderful last week.
Got a definite wind advantage, probably going across the ground at 45 degrees with favouring East Geelong's head. Wilson gets that tap down in front of the pack. Former teammate there. O'Keefe, he can't control the ball. It's gone out of play again. We'll have another throw in. Forward pocket for East Geelong, only around 20 metres around from the behind post. Wilson gets a hand to it very cleverly across to teammate there. Kick down the line. It's come into the wing area for East Geelong. They can't get control of it. It is Mike when he wins the ball. He makes a couple of tackles and they kick into the middle of the ground. Gerard gets on the half volley, tackling immediately. Umpire says he was pushed in the back.
Okay,
He'll take a free kick, releases out to the half forward flank. Donohue's going to be first there for Inverleigh, gets around cleverly, handed it to Shepherd against Belloy. Donohue on the left foot, kicks down the line, and Paddy Burke comes out and takes him. A mark contested, quickly plays on, kicks into the middle of the ground, finds Gerard, who carried on from that last kick coming off the back line, and pass across to Young. Young quickly onto the right foot, kicks it down into the hot spot area coming out. He can't take the mark. Kicked across, it's a left foot snap there by Mays, I think it is. O'Keefe. And O'Keefe has kicked the first goal of the game for Inverleigh, the midfielder. That's the first goal, and we're only 3 minutes into the first quarter. Common Defeat Hotel, first quarter.
Yeah, well, I think he did the right thing, the big fella, big Ryan Ritchie came out, he gave the big punch, but unfortunately the blokes on the deck were all along the Inverleigh. They took downtime. That's a good goal to kick. I think out up there, like when you get Donohue, he grabs the footy, decides he sees a lead up there that he has to go back on the left foot to do it. He did that quite easily, and already they're starting to hit targets East Geelong, Inverleigh, and East Geelong have to do the same.
Back at the ball now, it comes the ball down, picked up there, Love on the handle away, let's time it again, so the number of possession already goes out wide, Dixon leads the base of the ball, gets towards the boundary line, reaches there first, he taps it over the boundary line, and he's come back in. Different.
tell you.
He just kicked that fair way, and the pretty much going that way, right straight through the middle. He's right tight, he's up $1 apiece. He's right up, he's hotel.
That's a solid. That was the one they got kicked to. It really looked like they covered their opponents well. I think you go back from there.
60 metres on 2 steps.
Yeah, I reckon that's all it was. I just expected it to land just this side of the goal square from a big mark, and it went right through the goal. I think the wind is going that way. So, and if it is, if it's as strong as we think it is now after that kick, then I think at least we're going to get a wriggle on a kick a couple more.
Back in the middle of the ground now, Lennon and Wilson, who've been battling well, handball out there. Michael, who's got another one, gets across to Viewer. Viewer kicks into the forward line. Half volley is there for Dixon. He can't take the mark. Wobbles over the back of the pack. And low for East Geelong. Kicks down the line, and it's going to be out of bounds. On the full, just into their forward line by a smidgen. Although they come out. It's Rosdanovsky, he's kicked it straight into bounds. The mark comes to East Geelong. Neat little kick over the top lines. Menti bounces in front of him. He can't get it, but very cleverly gets the ball in front of him. Tries to work it out to a teammate. Umpire said he was pushing him back. And he Menti's to take the free kick. East Geelong is going to be maybe a kicking distance afterwards. So he's landed right in the square. Smith can't take the mark. Inverleigh defenders desperate. There's a pile of East Geelong players trying to get on the ball. Lenker's got it now. He can't break away from the impact. The umpire has said it's going to be forward clock and only about 6 or 8 metres around from the point post. East Geelong heavily in attack. Wilson's come down all the way down to contest the ruck, working up against Menzies. Wilson has the advantage, but Menzies getting a negative left hand on the ball. Left picks up the ball, can't get clear of the pack. Tackle immediately. Square, East Geelong in attack with Louis from their back. Menzies again. This time it's come down to try to push the ball in front of him. Can't break clear of the pack. Push down, picked up by East Geelong, grabbed to the ground again. The umpire's blown the whistle from a long way away. And the East Geelong player coming up the ball is going to shot the goal. And that will be Tom Courtney-Mars. I'm guessing the cousin or brother of Daly. Both of those players have had South Wales experience, I think. We're waiting for this bloke to get in the side to straighten them up again. He's going to shot the goal 45 degrees, only 20 metres out. Goal umpire did not even twitch, straight over his head. The second goal for the Eagles. 2 straight, Inverleigh 1 straight. Common Defeat Hotel, first quarter, 8 minutes in.
Well, that's the goal that they need, and probably another one. There's another kick there that travels a lot further than I thought they were going to. What they've got to do here is they've got to win a couple out of the middle. Say, kill in the middle. They've got possibly the best ruckman in the comp, particularly Clement, who's back in Houston's out there. And they've also got a wonderful player that was from Gold Coast Hill. Emphatic to take over if need be. So they've got to start getting down the centre because all their attacks have come from the half-back line.
Wilson and McLennan has called something injured in Gold Coast Hill early. Back to Wilson goes over the top, gets the first chunk and picks up his own crumb. Can't get clear this particular stage. It's kicked out East Geelong there by Fanning, gets it across to the wing. Teammate picks up, hand passes back to Low. Low hand passes in to Melito. I think no, it's Fanning again. That's a terrible kick going forward. Coming out is Jared Young. match, East Geelong has 2 straight goals on the scoreboard, 12 minutes in, common defeat, Hotel first quarter.
I don't know if he meant it, but it's just the right height. It was high enough to go over the players on the goal line, but any higher, I think that would have grabbed it, that might not have made it. So that's a beautiful kick. You know, a couple of goals each. I think East need to do a little bit more. I might even go out at one time and have a kick myself. It's a long one. I'll come back and tell you. I'm not a fact from the 50, I might have about 4 minutes.
Your bolts going in, it's not going out there. So, when this changes, the head goes up, kick the way it's like, they come again, they go with the head there, one coming out, Barb, can't get the ball, but he's done lots of hands and knees, kick the hand for Roberts, gets through some traffic, looks up, goes towards goal, and he's going to do a good job.
It's a bit worrying if the other bloke goes into the ruck and they still get it out of the centre. They have to get some centre clearances, East. Danger man, Manganelli. He was here last time.
Last for East Geelong, rips it in and finds Sam Lowe in the back pocket.
Never seen him play a bad game, Sam.
Tall winger has always impressed. He gets it back into the square to Mars. He goes the other side this time. Looks out there. He runs off the ball, tackles quickly. Back to the ground, can't get away. It's been chicken wing. Ball comes out to Donny, who kicks it off the ground. Back into the direction of the teammate can't take the mark under great fashion. Manganelli lays a tackle. Going anywhere, we'll have a ball up.
Chicken wing.
We've got a chicken wing.
They get 6 weeks of that for rugby. Doing that.
So ball's thrown up. Lennon gets a neat little left hander, can't do the congestion, no love. Gets it across to Haste. Haste whacks it back. Teammate comes out. Very clever handball, releases his teammate there. Gets to the centre wing. It's a good kick into the forward line, but it's a nest of Inverleigh players. It's Brown who takes the mark. Inverleigh British the Wolves. He's got some spare players in the middle of the ground. Jared Young is one of them. It's a clever little walk there. Kicks it right across the ground and finds Filer. Filer's got time to take a bounce. He wouldn't have done that very often in his career. Neat little pass forward, but it is not a very good kick at all. Lemper for East Geelong picks up his tackle immediately. Just inside the centre square, Inverleigh are in attack. Going to have a ball up.
I wonder how many bounces Nick had.
Love gets a crumb, slaps it forward very quickly. Monahan's going to get there first. East gets a cruel bounce, but he's in Lux of Fortune gets a second go at it, tackled immediately. The umpire said he was thrown to the ground. A bit of a sling tackle, and the young fella is going to get a free kick for East Geelong. Harry Monahan, pretty impressive. Goal posted a couple of weeks ago. Started off with this third possession already. He runs around and Coney kicks down to the wing looking for some direction. Menzies underneath it. He can't take the mark, but he wins a hand pass back. It's hand pass received. He was looking for the very clever Zach Smith. Used his body well.
Oh, it's gone the other way.
He was held his opponent in Filer down there.
I'd have let that go, I
And
reckon.
he
They
will,
both helped each other. Let it go up.
Indeed, Jared Young just having a little rest. He started off well, a couple of errant handballs, but he's had the ball a lot. It's well at the moment over the far side of the ground. It's Love like hand passes back to the boundary umpire. Who's going to throw it back into play?
Oh, he's hurt himself too.
There, angle.
Get up, put the pressure on it, slowly get to his feet.
Well, I think he tried to. Just doesn't look. No, he's not.
Around now.
where the mark is. So they've got to clear him a little bit out of there. I'll give no, that's good umpire. Just get him a little bit out. I reckon you could almost start it now. He's gone about 15, 20 metres away. I don't think you have to wait till he gets off the ground. I reckon now is a good time, Hump.
Yes, and very short come back that way.
Well, they're going to wait for him to get off the ground anyway. Well, get the game going, Hump. There's no stretcher. Get the game going.
One umpire's been to do it, another one isn't.
Yeah, no. I thought it was a really good idea. Initially, to a point, yeah, I think now you've got to continue the game. And there's no stretcher, I don't think. Yeah, I'll ask Vince that during the week.
Okay, away we go.
Yes. Now it's going to come sideways down, go down, cross, he's going to run through the middle of the ground, he's going to low, kick in before line, coming across it, that was Nick's Wizard.
Haircut, sweet. That is a real good mark because Lowe was going to mark that ever since he left the boot. Somehow he got there and got just in front of him and took it away from him.
It's now, guess it won't be a problem, as I said, inside the left goal post, and we do the work, it's the way to do it here.
The horror kick today, not just remember earlier in the year.
Now, comes in, and it's a nice big kick on the route, and it's gone straight through the middle pitch, and has his first goal of the afternoon, his third now. There's 3-2, and Leeds Geelong on 2 straight, 19 gone. First quarter, between Hotel and
I'll tell you what, I'm going out there in a minute and check if he's got a pocket in there. But I reckon he's got a little transistor radio. It's exactly what you said, Smith, because that's exactly what he did. Let it go to almost to the left post and move back in. And I reckon he must have been listening to you. And when we saw him at North Geelong, I was really impressed with him. But he didn't kick enough goals because he kicked too many points. So that's a damn good start for him today. And hopefully he kickstarts his career because I like him. I think he's going to be a very good player.
So Dave back in the middle, Wilson's back on with McLennan. Wilson gets it, back in the lead. Got the first hands on it again, but this time sharp by East Geelong. They kick forward. Coming out, trying to take the mark there. Quick kick off the ground by Dowsett. Gets it into the territory of Smith, who's a very clever player. But he's bumped out of the way very quickly by Gerard. Gets the ball, hand pass to Pilot. Pilot now kicks out to the wing. There's a race into open spaces. Minnow Keep is in pursuit, but it's Fanning who gets there first. Lead with a kick forward, and Dowsett is marked in the pocket
Well, that's play on.
for East Geelong. He's kicked it high up, looking for a teammate. Grosdanoski's first there. He can't hold the mark. The umpire said
And a push.
that there's been a push, and it's Muir. Christus here on Anzac Day with a fantastic game. He's held for all year. That's a long kick, and centre wing again. Rundle, I think, well, in fact, that was kicks it again. He can't hold the mark. Ball comes in, says, "I'll have it, thank you." Just in East Geelong's attacking zone, they are trailing by Important goal. Their third of the afternoon. 3 goals straight. Fourth of the afternoon. 4 goals straight. Inverleigh are 3-2, and we are 28 minutes into the Commencement Hotel first quarter.
Well, that's another beautiful kick. He didn't seem to put too much effort into it. He just let the wind do its work. But it does create a problem because if the wind is that strong, they've really got to defend hard in the next quarter. They've got to make sure they defend way out here on the outside the 50 because they've proven themselves that you can kick goals from outside the 50.
So back a little we go again. The ball is cleared away this time by McIntyre. So each along with another opportunity. They go quickly into the forward line. And Menzies ball had it.
Oh,
but
he
lost
needed
it.
that.
Yeah, he's gone back and collected the ball. Got the handball outside. And the kick's going back in towards the goal square, but going back to Donahue. Had time to pick the ball up. Handball's over the top. Goes towards Brown. Brown went back to Donahue. And now he's on the left field. Needs to bring the ball towards centre wing. Wilson's in front. Ball from McLennan comes down, hits the ground, picked up by Finno Keith. Got the handball out. Again, there's some players around the contest. Ends up in the hands of Pace. He picks the ball up. His kick was smothered. Goes towards the middle of the ground. McIntyre taps it to the advantage of his teammate. This is Hoare. Hoare goes into the goals, the middle of the ground. Missed his target. Again, working back there is Templeton. Ball runs towards the boundary line. It's going to be picked up there by Searle. Searle got the handball away to Menzies. Umpire says it's gone over the boundary line. There will be a throw-in to take place. About 30 around from the behind post.
How long gone?
Yeah, just on 29, Grub. We
Need another one here.
A little bit of a hole here in the middle of that player coming from the ground. So
Yeah, need another one, I reckon.
Mick Ross has got a grimace on his face, but he's moving a lot better than he was when he first got the knock. The ball taken out of the ruck by Wilson. Handball went towards Typhon, but missed him altogether. He's gone back over the boundary to be thrown back in. Finished the quarter pretty nicely at East Geelong. Got themselves their noses in front. As Grub said, another goal here would be very, very handy. Opportunity to do so. Menzies does the ruck work. Ball comes down. Again, can't be cleared out. Andrew was over the top of the ball, and umpire has called it, and he's going to ball it up inside their forward 50 once again.
Donnie's moved himself as a loose man, Grubby, just for the last bit.
Yeah.
The ball comes out of the contest. Tyquin to Gerard. Now he runs and kicks the ball back towards centre wing. Player was taken out of the contest. There's going to be a free kick. Went to Rich. Now by hand to Mars, and he looks to go back into their forward pocket. At the back, Searle was up and over. Probably didn't make a fair attempt at the ball there, but probably should have been a free kick into his way, I would have thought. The ball went over the boundary line. Umpire said that's okay. We're going to have another throw-in to take place. Again, forward pocket position.
I think Adam Donahue realises just how important it is not to let East get another one, I think.
Yeah, very much so. So I'll go. No, I'll go out of the pack. It's Tyquin who picks it up, probably getting near double figures possessions in the first quarter. Punch clear of the pack there by Belutho over the boundary line on centre wing. We'll have a throw in. Time running out for East. We've gone past the 30-minute mark. We did lose some time, but there can't be too much left. 4 points in front. And we're in the Commencement Hotel first quarter here at the Morton. Power over to Inverleigh. It's McLennan again in the ruck. He's with Wilson. Wilson comes in from the side. Gets a very neat little tap down, but it's tackled immediately. His teammate there in love by Cordner Mars, who's kicked a couple of goals for East already. He's going to get a free kick here. That's a beautiful long low drop punt into the corner looking for Searle, but punched away from him by Crawley and over the boundary line just as the quarter time siren sounds. Inverleigh are 3-2-20, but East Geelong lead them 4 straight goals, 24. Goal kickers, Dale.
Goal kickers for the home side. We have 1 each to Love, Dixon and O'Keefe, and 4 East Geelong who lead. It's Cordner Mars with 2, Menzies 1, and Smith also with 1. Take a short break, come back, and we'll go through first quarter action here from the Oval, and it's going to be 94.7 the Pulse. Home side football. Headbangers.
Hey?
The headbangers.
What?
I mean,
Good.
See how the grounds is working. Okay? See how around the grounds is working.
West 47, Geelong 2 from 12. Shit. Shit. Thompson, there'd be a similar wind advantage here, wouldn't it? You'd think the grounds would be running at us, running north-south, the grounds.
If you hadn't brought that on in midday, what is it? Chris could probably give you one.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, put another one. Give the sponsors a bit of a turnout. We're still a way away from play, so yeah, play a couple more.
He didn't like that. What? So what are you doing getting into Werribee again? Why don't you just leave him alone? What? He says, we'd love to pull Sheila out for 12 months. All she did was say something. He goes, oh, yeah, but you can't say something like that to a player. I said, when a girl's having a seizure on the ground and someone comes and stands right above her like a smart ass, she deserves to get yelled at. Oh, no, that's not what happened. I said, we've got a video that proves that's what happened. But you wouldn't give him a hearing. We don't need to give him a hearing. I said, well, why not? Why would you give him a hearing? Well, to try and do. We did this a couple of weeks ago at Belfast Hill. They banned the mother for 12 months for running on the court. When she was allowed to run on the court because the girl was having a seizure. I don't know. I'll tell you what, you reckon they don't vindicate them? They vindicate them all right. That's because they've won about 15 flags and they just don't like them. It's not fair. But the thing is, she's not allowed within 50 metres of a court. But she works in the canteen, which is 44 on measured. What do you do then?
The Morton Power Oval, Inverleigh, home side 3-2-20. They have been kicking against a reasonably strong wind. East Geelong 4 straight goals, 24. Just before we go to Grubby Coaches for comments, Belmont Lions 12, Geelong West 47, Werribee Central's 34, Anki yet to score. Corio 10, Belfast Hill 43, and Thompson 33, Bannockburn 13. Around the grounds, no score from the Winchelsea North Geelong game at present. Grubby, how did you see the first quarter action?
Well, I really, really enjoyed it, actually. A real good, close, tight game. Challenge accepted, by the way, from Spider Brady. I'll get both of you around and you won't be able to walk when you leave. Well, I tell you what, it's going to cost him a fair bit to make us like that, Smitty. But no, look, I thought it was a really good quarter of footy. It ebbed and flowed. I thought that probably the main part of it was Inverleigh winning it out of the centre. When you've got the wind, you need to win it out of the centre because it only takes a kick and a half and you've got a shot at goal. And a lot of their attacks, East Geelong, had to come off the half-back flank. But in saying that, they had as much of the ball. It was around the ground. It was a real tight contest. And it just worries me that the wind is obviously straight down the ground because sometimes when you got the wind, even though it's behind you, you can swirl it. But they've kicked 4 straight. So it means that unless they're absolute dead-eyed dicks, it means Inverleigh now have the chance to do the same. And as I said in the call, fair dinkum, they've got to fight and fight and fight now The big fella who team of the year was the ruckman last year in McLennan. He's got to try and take control in the ruck, and all the little blokes around here have got to get it out and get it back down their forward line, because I think Inverleigh will really hurt them if they win clearances with the win. Right? I thought, Tyke had about 14, 12 possessions or something. 12 or 14 that quarter. Jared Young was good, but a couple of errant handballs. Wilson dominated the ruck. Filan at full-back, centre-half back was good. Manganelli looked dangerous. Sam Lowe was good. Alistair Mars had a few kicked a couple of goals. Menzies looks dangerous. Jake Dowsett, I know I had a bit of a dig at him during he gets the footy a couple of times. A little bit of thought process, and I reckon they could have won a couple of extra goals each, but he's getting the footy, so good on the kid. And Billy Andrews going all right too. The Billy from Baroog is going really well.
It has been a very entertaining game. Skill level much higher than what we saw at Aniki last week, which we would expect from two of the top sides compared to a couple that are down the bottom. But it is a really good game. It'll be interesting to see what this wind advantage will do to the way Inverleigh play, particularly if they continue that domination out of the centre grove.
Yeah, look, Donahue is playing deep again. I wouldn't do that. I'd bring Donahue. I'd be having him as one of the men that delivered it in, because you go, oh, he's not quite in the goal square. But with a win like this, sometimes your full forward becomes null and void because you're just going to kick over your head. And he's got a beautiful kicking style. I wouldn't mind him being the one, because he'll kick goals from outside 50 himself, or he'll put it on the chest of somebody.
Yeah, we've got 20 to 24. That is the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter here at Moreton Power Oval Inverleigh. I'm really looking forward to this. There's clearly that wind is stronger than it was before the start of the game, I reckon. It's definitely favouring Inverleigh this quarter. Dale Smith, take it away.
Ball back in the middle of the ground, and we said Wilson and McLennan, both players, or McLennan took it out of the ruck and he kicks the ball forward, going back at Gerard and takes the mark. So he's now turn things around for Inverleigh. He's got to play a short middle of the ground. Tycoon's there if he wants to use him, and finally he does. No one's getting the mark. And he decides now to kick out wide.
Are you eating while you're commentating?
Yeah, let me mince, mate. Goes looking for Wilson. Wilson now picks the ball up and he goes to the forward line. A long kick, and I think it landed over the boundary line, I think.
Goal umpire was onto it. Out on the full.
Out on the full. Umpire says yes, and boundary umpire's pushing down the ground, but no, Mars is going to take the free kick, and he goes across the goal, and Lowe has it.
They're in no better position, are they? They're in the same, different pocket, same area.
The only good thing about that's a defensive side of the ground, so they may have some value in it, but now he goes the outside 50.
Well, that's a push.
Was a push. The umpire says no, the mark has been taken. It's going to go to Menzies. So Menzies now, little chip up over the top, got a player on centre wing. Dowsett is there in some space, so they're moving the ball progressively down the far side of the ground. Now he goes a little bit longer, again heading towards the true centre wing. Ball gets out the back, runs towards the boundary line, and Searle takes it over, and umpire will come in and throw it up. Throw it in, I should say, from that position.
Some of those tiggy touches longer than that, I don't mind. That looked to me like a two hands in the back and a bit of a push. Never mind.
The umpire now is going to throw the ball back in. McLennan and also Wilson. Wilson front position, taps the ball out the back, goes for Lemper, I think, that intercepted the ball. Got the handball back to McIntyre. Wants to get back on his left foot. Got the handball away, though. Went back towards Dowsett. And again, the old ball runs back over the boundary line. A throw in to take place once again. Similar position to last.
Boundary throw in right underneath the scoreboard, 20 to 24. McLennan and Wilson. This has been a very good battle, which I think Wilson's on top of at the moment. Bennett lays this down. Inverleigh go forward again with Tyquid. Neat little hand pass into the middle of the ground to Robertson. He kicks forward, coming out and taking a strong chest mark. McEwen Walsh under a huge amount of pressure from Fanning, but he just had overthrown. No, Helmore it is. And McEwen Walsh will kick from probably 45 metres, and based on what we saw in the first quarter, distance won't be a problem.
No problem. And I will have to disagree with you, sorry. I don't think it is a great battle between McLennan and Wilson. I think Wilson's pants at him. And I just think maybe, even though he's team of the year, I'd put Fanning in because it's imperative they start winning that ruck.
Starts McEwen Walsh. Ball leaves the foot very, very well indeed. Very happy down that end. And that is the fourth goal for Inverleigh. Takes them back into the lead, 4-26. East Geelong 4 straight 24, and we are 3 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
And that's my big worry. A good kick from wing half back is going to result in at least a shot for goal, and probably the way they're kicking it, a goal here today. So you've got to work so hard not to get a bloke to get a kick from that half back flank, because one more kick, Even if it's outside 50, which we think is not 50, with this wind, they're going to have a shot for goal. So you've got to work so hard behind the footy.
Ball back in the middle, and the umpire throws the ball up very quickly. This time Wilson gets the ball down, intercepted there by Lampard. They run the ball out of the middle. Low kick into the half-forward line. He's okay. Menzies leads in the race for it. Grozdanovski's with him. Ball now runs towards the boundary line. High tackle there. Free kick's going to go to Andrew on the far side of the ground. So umpire saw it. We saw it. So it's a good call. Ball goes in short. And that is a kick, and the mark has been intercepted. Not too sure if that's Brown or Burke. It looks like Burke getting to his feet. And he's going to send the ball back towards centre wing. Goes back looking for Grundle. Grundle in front. Mark not taking. Ball runs over the boundary line. Have a throw-in. The Bowman that went from here to where he been playing? Or not?
Yeah, he's kicking goals. He's their best player at the moment.
So he is playing.
Yeah, I think they're bringing him up the ground to get him a kick. But yeah, he's playing all right. He's doing really, really well.
So back on centre wing. Ball thrown in by the umpire. Again, this time out the back. Yeah, I think I've been for the netball actually. Picked up there. I think Robertson got the hand on ball. Goes to Wilson. Got the handball away. Wasn't effective. Again, tackled there by Tyquin. And the play was ball with Monahan. And he's going to hand the ball back to the umpire. Trial to take place far side of the ground, centre wing. Wilson up over the top. Knocks the ball back towards the boundary. So this time, different umpire will take responsibility. Boundary umpire to throw it in. And the instructions coming from the bench.
That's 30 miles. You can't shut him up.
Ball is thrown in. McLennan gets his hand on the ball. Out the back goes to Burke. Got in and out of traffic. Got the handle away to Robertson. On a one step, kicked the ball back into their forward line. Coming across. Grundle just couldn't hang on to it. Ball comes out now. Back to Monahan. And again, kick around the boundary line. The kick was okay. She didn't look like it was going to hit the target, but it has. Kells the play to play on it. It's Gordon Mars. He gets the ball back, put his teammate McLennan under pressure.
Yeah, did that badly.
Yeah, got himself in trouble and put his teammate in further pressure.
He's the bloke that I left out of the best of the first quarter, Paddy Burke. I think he went all right. He's going okay, Paddy.
Yep. So umpire again throws the ball back in. This time McLennan takes front position. Ball goes back towards the boundary line. The game on the hand. We'll see it over, so we're going to have a throw-in to take place. 4-2 Inverleigh. East Geelong are 4 straight, and we have, East Geelong 4 straight. Yes, 6 minutes. Common Fernie, sorry, no, it's not. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Demonstration, I hope we don't have one of those days where it's out of bounds on the far side all day, but it's been a lot already. McLennan tries to take it out of the ruck, doesn't get anywhere. Ball's down in the front of the pack. Players leap on the top of the ball. Umpire has picked out a free kick for holding the pill. It's against Inverleigh's Love. Back to East Geelong. McIntyre kicks down the line looking for Dowsett. He quickly plays on, sees a lead in the pocket. It's Watson Searle, gets up high, can't hold the mark. Menzies cleverly taps the ball and the path of a teammate, but Inverleigh's defence is strong. Players come in, get a quick little hand pass out to Brown. His kick smothered. Falls straight back out. East again win the ball, but they can't get it out of the pack. Clever little handball there, but it's intercepted. Inverleigh. Robertson gets the crumb, comes across to the middle of the ground. Manganelli's got it. He's kicked out to the wing. You can see Gerard. He's backed his pace, but Mars has beaten him. He's got there first. Gerard has fallen over. Mars has now got a little bit of time. Neat little kick in the middle of the ground. Then finds McGrath. McGrath kicks forward, and Dowsett, who's been very, very busy indeed, has taken another mark. He's found a free player in the forward pocket, coming out and taking a mark. There is McGrath, is it? Number 20? Yes, it's McGrath for East Geelong. He's got it in the forward pocket, very difficult spot to kick from with the wind as it is. He's going back with full intent. He's going to have to aim at the left goal post and hope that it eases across, but geometry is not in his favour, I must say. You would have been good at geometry at school, wouldn't you, Grubby?
Good at everything at school. Hey, I went to school, stupid. I come out the same bloody way, unfortunately.
McGrath plays on, kicks in the direction of that post, but it lands in the arms of Gerard. He drops a very simple chest mark. It's a hand pass to Brown. The ball's been taken off him by Mars. Gets it to Menzies. He hand passes, which is intercepted out of bounds in the forward pocket. 2 or 3 metres round from the behind post. And East desperate in attack. If they can get one against the wind here, it'll be great for their confidence.
Well, the way to stop momentum on the other side with the wind is to kick a couple yourself.
Definitely. So, boundary throw in, forward pocket. They've got a lot of clever players in this little spot. They need to get their hands on it. It's Wilson who gets to Tyquin. Tyquin kicks down. It was Crawley, actually, but coming across, taking mark was Fanning. Releases Monaghan. Monaghan kicks into the forward pocket. We're looking for Menzies, front of the pack. Can't hold the mark. A nest of Inverleigh defenders there. Tyquin gets it out towards Wilson. He can't hold the ball. It's back on ground again. Bobbles out of the back of the pack. This time for Inverleigh, but East, it's McGrath. He can't get his hands on the ball. It's young Mulville. Quick kick across the body there by Billy Andrew, and he's found the goals. Kicked it low to avoid the breeze. It's wobbled through, and that is a fifth straight goal. 5 goals, 30, Inverleigh 4-2, and we are nearly 9 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
That's what I say every week, don't I? If you can hold the ball in your forward line and hold it in, the opportunities will come. Less opportunities normally come with a good side like Inverleigh, but East just held it in, and they always looked like they were going to be dangerous. I know there was a lot of players down there, and eventually Billy Andrew was sitting on his own and said, thanks very much, and went bang, and that puts Inverleigh in a real good spot. Because as I said, the only way to stop momentum when sides kicking with the wind is kick a couple yourself, and that put the wind up them a little bit.
Play the other side too, Grub, where there's just ball up. That'll suit each one too. So
Yes, it will.
Inverleigh need to take a few chances and bring it back through the middle of the ground. So
Yes.
the ball now thrown up in the middle. Ball is tapped out, and again, it's going to be McLennan that emerges with the ball. So they've done nicely in this second quarter. They've won possession from the middle. Crowley got the ball out. Has a player coming through in Templeton. Looks up. Short kick was Australian. The mark has been taken out there for East Geelong. That Mulville.
Yep.
And he's going to now go back into the forward line. That's a
Oh,
good
he
kick.
left him
The
alone.
mark has
There's
been
an
taken
injured
out
player
there again.
behind, that's why.
And it's going to be, I think, McGrath once again. So he's now going to have a second shot at goal. This time a better position for him. And he will go back and shoot for the 6th goal for East Geelong. 6 straight we're looking at the present time. And well within range, I would think. Look out, you wouldn't think there's much breeze at all. The trees aren't moving all that much. But again, left hand post with the wind to do the work for him. He steps in. Looks nice looking kick off the boot. And it's not going to make a
Mark.
difference, but there's a mark being taken.
He's still on.
Yes, it is. Lemper, is it? Yes. And again, around the body shot if I'm calling it right from here. The thing I don't understand here is why they go back so far. Why don't they go to the point post and just work from there? Listen the angle a bit more. But he works around the body and he has kicked the
That's
goal.
why.
Doesn't matter. It's the same result. And 6 straight for the East Geelong side. They're 6 straight. They lead Inverleigh on 4-2. We have gone 11 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter. We missed it. We did. Sorry about that.
The one who went straight through the middle.
That's what I thought. 5-1. Sorry about that. Templeton now plays on and goes straight up the middle of the ground. Goes looking towards McEwen Walsh. Ball comes out the back. East Geelong with some numbers, but didn't go after the ball. I think it was Burt to pull himself over the top of it. And the ball is now going to be held up, going back to the umpire.
Jeez. I thought it was a goal, and I was just about to say, that's put a cat amongst the pigeons. They're getting on top here, East.
So the ball again thrown up. This time McEwen Walsh does the work, goes to Love. Love on the step, puts the ball back into the half forward line. Manganelli leads in the race for the ball. Monaghan is in pursuit. Manganelli tends the ball towards the boundary line. It goes over. We're going to have a throw in on the far side of the ground.
Quickly round the grounds. Thompson 45, with Bannockburn coming back 34. Corio 10, Belpo still 43. Werribee 34, Anakia picked the goal, then 117, West 50, Belmont 19.
So ball thrown back in again, far side of the ground. McLennan gets front position, taps the ball down. That was nicely done. He went looking towards Lemper, but he can't. Love's over the top. The ball is in the scramble out there. Now it's come out. Jacobs had it. He was tackled. Brought to ground. Umpire comes in and takes possession once again. So again, suiting East Geelong, just be holding the play up as much as possible. Inverleigh, as I said, need to take a few chances and swing the ball across the ground. Ball comes out of the contest. That was a tackle. Now he's getting that prior opportunity. Has to be a ball up. And that's what we're going to have.
Brother needs to get in front!
So 13 minutes gone. Second quarter was Inverleigh on 4-2 and East Geelong 5-1.
In the back of the pack, ball bobbles out. Love picks it up, hand passes across to Brown. Brown evades a tackle, kicks neatly into the forward line looking for Donoghue. He comes out and gets it on the bounce. But Monaghan has had a pretty good game. Can't get a kick away. Grundle runs onto the ball, gets it to Brown. Brown hand passes into the pocket to Love. Love to the running Robertson. Robertson runs in and kicks a beautiful team goal for the Hawks. Their fifth of the afternoon, back in the lead, 5-2-32. East Geelong 5-1-31, and we've gone 13 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment second quarter.
Well, he came in from up the ground, and that's another thing that East have got to watch. Not just their defence, but their midfielders. If a bloke comes running from down there, you've got to cut him off. You just can't let him run into and get an easy one like that. But I heard you say in the call, gets it to someone. Well, that's what he did too, because he didn't handball it. So, I reckon they're a little bit unlucky, East there. Gets it to him, meant, here, have this. I think it was a... Oh, well,
Rugby pass.
I think it was a throw. Put it that way.
Forward pass.
Yeah, I think it was a throw. But umpire didn't quite get it. But yeah, they've got to watch them blokes coming down the ground because not all forwards kick the goals.
So we're back in the middle again. Ball is thrown up quickly. Umpire this time comes down. Grundle working his way through the contest. Couldn't get through the other side. Picked up by McIntyre. Got the handle away. McEwen into the hands of Finn O'Keefe, and he goes long into the forward line towards the full forward position. Back there now. Young works to Mars. Mars is tackled, brought down. Did he have for opportunity? Umpire says no, he didn't. And there's going to be a ball up. Only 10 metres out from the full forward position. Mars looks like he's got the job on Donahue for the day. Plays pretty close to him. Ball, Burke does the ruck work. Ball comes out. I think that was Fanny. He was tackled. He had no prior opportunity for that. Again, the umpire is back in, taking possession of the ball.
And everything's improved in the studio too. Nobody's big jump! Coming through loud and clear and going really well through the radio station.
Beautiful. We'll get a stream in a minute as well. Ball thrown up, tried to take it out of the back. Is Dixon, but he's bagged immediately. The umpire has seen a free kick from a long way away. He's at a different angle, and it's going to go to Inverleigh. It's going to go to Nathan Mays.
I tell you,
Joel Selwood of the lead.
Oh, he's good at it. He's good at it, Maisie.
So he'll be kicking from about 15 metres out. He's tighter than 45 degrees. It looks like he's going for a traditional drop punt.
Oh, 50 metre penalty. 50 metre penalty. Now, the bloke looked to me to be out of the 5 metre circle. The only thing I can think of, he was bad mouth, and I'm not sure.
I reckon he's looking at that distance. I reckon that drop.
He looked more than 5 metres away to me.
Look at that car over there behind the goal, Scrubby, with the boot up. I wonder what's going on there. That's my car.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the boot doing up?
Must have leant on the boot button in my pocket, I reckon.
I reckon you must have to ask him for a free beer behind the goal, boys.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to do,
They
just
can-
help yourself.
You can pinch all my shearing gear. I hope someone steals that. Oh, dear.
Them two have really set East Geelong back, and they've got to work a lot harder now.
Most definitely. 38-31, back in the middle of the ground. We can go for a wander at half time and fix that problem up, Dale.
So the ball's thrown up now in the middle of the ground. McIntyre, McLennan got the run at the ball and got over the top, went the hands to Grundle. Grundle gives it to Wilson. Wilson in the forward line again, coming across to Dixon. Dixon's within range, can he go back?
Yeah, he'll go back. Oh, no. Oh, they do the whistle, the umpire ran off when he's got to pay another 50, but he didn't.
So, well within range, Mason Dixon has one for the afternoon. Inverleigh 6 goal kickers are all individuals at this stage. Dixon now, plenty of instruction. Young's telling where to kick it, straight over the top of him. He's about 10 metres behind the bloke in the mark. Theory's good. Drop of the ball's important. Drop of the ball looked okay, but he's going to be offline. He started offline distance with no problem at all. It's through for a minor score. And Inverleigh now to 6-3. East Geelong 5-1. We have gone just over 17 minutes into this second quarter.
The video streaming's working, but it just sounds a bit hollow.
Yeah.
Fix that up. Gee, I wish one of those blokes standing beside my car had shut the boot.
I was one of those blokes that was right.
It's Mars in the back pocket for East Geelong, kicks out, and Rich takes the mark for East Geelong, runs around and kicks into the middle of the ground, Ryan Lemper. He's still inside the 50-metre arc, but working out possession. The umpire's called play on. Lemper's had to go quickly, hand passes across to Rich and Andrew. There's been a wobble. Grundle's got the ball. The umpire's given a free kick back to Robertson for Inverleigh. He kicks neatly into the forward line, looking for him, finding Manganelli. And the little small forward is going to have a shot for goal directly in front. About 35 metres out, and this is 2 in a row is really going to kill off a bit of hard work that East have put in.
It's not 3 in a row. But I'll tell you what, they just buggered that up. They panicked a little bit East here. They handballed when they probably should have kicked. But I hope he kicks this goal. I just want to talk about that kick coming in. Unbelievable kick that.
Manganelli directly in front, leaves the boot neatly. Goal umpire doesn't move. That is their 7-3, 45. East Geelong 5-1-31. Buckley's entertainment second quarter.
Had everything in me vision there. As soon as he paid the free kick, Robertson picked the ball up and turned around and kicked it to where he reckoned Manganelli was going to run to. And that's where it went. So that's a set play. There's no doubt that's a set play because he couldn't even see him leading. But he knew where he was going to lead to, and that's where he put the footy. And that's why this mob are on equal top. That's why they're the best side in the comp, because they've just got that little bit of extra class. And I think East now, they've got a fight on their hands, and I think they're capable too. They've played pretty well up till now, but this last 5 minutes have been overrun a bit, and somehow they've got to stop it.
Good possession footy, but some good possession footy. Far side of the ground, bit of way to go. Ball comes out. This time they have a chance through Lamper. He goes into their forward line. That's a great kick. Mark is taken out there. McGrath swings and goes quickly. You can see the player from behind. He's up in the hands of Robertson. Got the hand away. Back towards Dino Keith, and he just puts the ball under his boots. Go long. Monahan had the ball, couldn't take it. Rich, he's tackled. Ball comes out, goes back towards Monahan. And, that was right there. I couldn't see it.
The umpire's on the right side to see it, so they'll let him go on that one.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So Monahan, the recipient of the free kick. And he is now going to deliver the ball. Umpire asks him now to play on. He kicks straight down the ground. Coming across, Brundle comes across and takes the mark. Transfer play back quickly, goes back towards John Yu. Can't take the mark, but he went straight back.
Well, he was actually blocked well before the ball got there.
Oh, that's a dangerous kick. Oh, I didn't know who was going to mark that. He sends up my hand to behind, though. He was okay. He takes a short kick, goes to Mars. Mars, the onside defensive 50. No one's standing it, so we're going to transfer play now to the far side of the ground. And maybe a little bit of possession football. Goes out looking for it. Can't find his teammate out there in Menzies, but he goes back and collects it. Goes in the right boot. Goes into the half forward line. Crowley's there. Ball gets out the back. He picks the ball up. Looks for the little left foot round the corner. Only as far as Menzies. Goes back inside to douse it. Quick on the boot. Goes into the forward line. Gerard couldn't pick it up cleanly. Has his teammate there in Violet. Ball comes out to Cord the Mars. He goes round the body, and that's a polished finish once again. His third goal of the afternoon and the sixth now for East Geelong. They're 6-1. Inverleigh on 7-3, 21 minutes gone. Buckley's in a Tammet second quarter scoreboard.
He looks a really good player, this kid. He kicks goals, he gets a lot of touches around the ground. I'm glad they kicked that because I thought they were robbed a bit. That should have been a 50-metre penalty out here if you're going to talk about the set. Donahue was blocked. There's no doubt about it. But once the umpire doesn't see it and doesn't pay it, he can't yell at the umpire like he did. I'm further away than the umpire, and I've got earphones on, and I heard him yell at him. So it should have been a 50. But in the end, they got the goal, which is good, and one they really, really needed.
Back in the middle of the ground, Wilson again gets the tap to Tyquin. But Andrew comes in, wins the ball back from Tyquin. He's tackled immediately, and we're still inside the circle. Now have another ball up. Rutten again. Wilson very neatly out to Tyquin. He releases Gerard. He's tackled from behind, and the umpire said, "You had long enough, son." And free kick will go to Fraser O'Connell for the East Geelong side. It's his first possession for the afternoon. He kicks a low drop punt looking for Menzies. He rises up the back of the pack, can't control the mark. Coming out is McIntyre. That's a neat little kick looking for Searle Watson. Searle, and he takes a mark. The umpire's paid it, but you may argue that he held it long enough. A bit of a bobble out and touched the ground. Had a second go at it. The umpire probably blew his whistle halfway through the bobble out.
Well, I was talking to Keats about that too during the week, and apparently the umpire pays the mark and then realises the ball's full out. He can call play on, and I think he should have done that then because I don't think that was a mark.
So Watson Searle,
That's
recruited
gonna come
from
around.
St Albans with Zach Smith, and that has come around right through the middle, 2 in a row. They're 7-1. Inverleigh 7-3, and we've just gone 22 and a half minutes. Buckley's entertainment second quarter.
Well, as good as the Hawks look when they got the ball, they're not laying down this mob, East Geelong. And I tell you, the last time we saw them, I was a little bit disappointed with them, and I said to KO this morning, I'm a bit disappointed in what they gave us up at Bellpost Hill, but they're certainly playing a lot better today, and they have all the odds against them, against the win, a couple, 2 or 3 in a row for Inverleigh. You think, well, it'd be easy to sit back and say, well, wait till half time and come out again, but they haven't. They've fought back. And they're almost within, well, it's only, a couple of points in it. They're going all right. They're really showing something that they didn't show us up at Bellpost Hill a couple of weeks ago.
So back in the middle of the ground, this time up and go out. Wilson gets the ball down, went towards Tyson. Ball gets through his hands, picked up by Robinson, got the handball out the back, went to Young now to teammate there in, who was it? Brown that was too. He went out wide, put his teammate Berg under a bit of pressure. Don't know how he did that. I think that was the right boot round the corner. It's going to stay in the field of play, picked up by Lowe. So East Geelong going to go back into their forward line. Mark is taken out there. O'Connell had it, and umpire has paid it, so he says stand. And O'Connell now just settles things down. Looks for his options, goes short into the pocket, and that's Smith out on the lead, and the ball, he saw it, stayed in. Is it?
No.
No, it hasn't. Going to go back to the boundary line. It must have gone over, so we're going to have a throw in to take place.
He really got a push too. I know it's on a long way away. I mean, jeez. It could have gone the other way, 50-50.
It's been retrieved far side of the ground.
Some netball shielders piece it for sure. Why they ever let him in?
Well, looking, Aniki kicked 3 goals at the start of the second quarter. They're 4-1 to Werribee 5-4. And Danny Burnett hit the front against Thompson 48-45.
So the ball goes back into their forward line quickly, goes to Tyquin, got rid of the ball, was just as quick, picked up by Young, got a boot, round back towards the boundary line, and it went back over, and that's where it's going to stay. The umpire will come in and take possession once again. Pretty close to the forward 50 arc here, in the lead round. So the netball side. That was love of the game. Ball thrown back in. Wilson taps the ball down. East Geelong in possession. They go backwards into the hands out there of Andrews. Ball goes back towards Lowe, and he puts the ball back into their pocket. Players come at the ball, hits the ground again. So clean pick up required. I think Wilson had a first crack at it, but it's worked pretty hard. Out there was Hall. He's over the top of the ball, trying to knock it clear. Umpire says it must have been a
hold the ball.
Holding the ball.
Yeah, neither did I. Maybe he dragged it in a long way away.
So Paddy Burt now, he picks the ball up and he goes back towards centre wing. Out there, Dixon was the target, ends the ground, picks up by Mays, got the handball back inside. That's okay to Donahue. Donahue looked up, little short kick goes towards Gerard. Gerard now, with his options further down the ground, goes quickly towards Dixon. Mars did not.
He definitely got a push.
And
wasn't much.
A free kick.
Unfortunately, the momentum was there. Normally, you push a bloke like that, he probably doesn't alter his course, but he was already struggling, and he may have accentuated a little bit, but the push was there.
And Dixon it is now with an opportunity again to kick his second goal of the afternoon. Has one at this stage. He spent most of the first quarter in the defensive end. Looks like he might have gone forward for a short time there. So Dixon steps in, kicks a goal, stabs at it, and he is offline and through for a -4. Inverleigh is 7-4 now. They lead East Geelong on 7-1, and they've ticked over 26 minutes in this Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
I know, but he's only a kid. He's only about 7 or something. He's only a young fella. But he's got a problem. I mean, that's a sitter. If I couldn't kick that, I wouldn't be here. I'll tell you, I could have kicked that. He's got to start kicking goals. And you can't drop a bloke through the seconds, because the same thing's going to happen. I don't know what you do, but he's got to kick some goals, this young fella.
Nas for East Geelong runs out of the square, kicks a wobbly old punt down, looking for Menzies. Can't hold the mark. Ball comes out of the back of the pack. Billy Andrew runs onto it, uses his pace, has a bounce, gets clear, evades a tackle, hand pass inside to Lowe. Lowe back to Andrew. Andrew back to Lowe. I get it up and it's out of bounds. Centre wing.
They did. It was the handball from Lowe coming back was far too high. It gave the chance to the Inverleigh players to get onto him.
And onto him they did. Wilson and McLennan again. Wilson up very, very high. Doesn't really win an effective tackle. Lowe comes onto the ball, tackled immediately. No chance whatsoever, and we'll have the ball up. Still on the centre wing, far side of the ground. Wilson again. McLennan this time gets a little bit of a hand to Lemper. Lemper can't break through the pack though. McLennan slaps it forward to teammates. A neat little hand pass releases Dowsett. Dowsett gets across the Lowe is running. Quick kick from him into the forward line. O'Connell comes on East Geelong. Hand passes very quickly to Zach Smith. Smith across to Mulville to McIntyre. Kicks into the square, but it's gone over the back of the pack through for one behind only. That takes them to 7-2. Inverleigh are 7-4, and with 28 minutes into the quarter. And I might leave it to you boys because I'll head over and fix that car problem.
Got a silly boy there. Rob, ball kicked out there by Kevlin, goes long towards the boundary line, gets out the back, picked up nice and cleanly. Handball comes back inside. Robinson under a little bit of pressure. Got through the ball. McLennan standing in the road, got the handball back outside. East Geelong. Good handball low this time, run back inside. And again, it's Billy Andrew goes long, and that was offline. So they are peppering late in this second quarter. 7-3 now, East Geelong. One solitary point behind Inverleigh, 7-4. Again, Templeton will do the kicking injury on the full back position. He's looking to go straight down the middle of the ground this time. Tall options through the middle, over the back. Dixon got up and over. They're picked up by Burt. Now there's some pace. He's all by himself. Just needs to pick the ball up. Can look, can run, go to the goal square and says, bang, I'm going to put one straight through the middle. He has his second goal of the afternoon and the eighth now for Inverleigh. They're 8-4. They lead East Geelong on 7-3, 29 gone, second quarter.
Look, hopefully that was just a blimp and it was a lack of communication. I know today's modern football is all about getting players up the ground and whatnot, but you cannot leave a 6'5", 6'6" bloke standing on his own 25, 30 metres out from goal with no one within 40 metres of him. Because one kick like that, it's going to and he could have fallen over, he could have dropped it 3 times and fallen over again, and he still would have kicked it. So, you know, let's go back a little bit to the old-fashioned defence. You don't leave a bloke sitting there doing nothing.
Got a ball back in the middle of the ground. This time Wilson up over the top, goes towards Type hands and knees, tries to work the ball clear of the contest, can't do so yet. Good pressure in there, Wilson.
That's good footy.
It's still a throw though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ball goes quickly into the forward line, coming out. Dixon couldn't take the mark. Going through, picked up Finn O'Keefe. Nice clean pick up, try to get the handball outside. Not too sure what he was looking for, but he goes back and gets it again to Mays. Mays puts boot the ball, goes towards Mars. Not 10 metres, says the umpire. Umpire call, play on. 10, 5, 15, doesn't matter, as long as the umpire says it's not far enough. Ball comes out, and now it's being held up. And it's going to be a ball up in Inverleigh's forward half. You're right, Robin. The old days, you at least have one defender back there, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, you have to have one. Where's that idiot gone? He's got to shut his boot.
Yeah, he's gone with that. It's on the tee as well, I think. So he's going to be first in. Ball comes out of the contest. McEwen Welsh gets the handball or tap out to a teammate in Finn O'Keefe, but he is tackled and brought to the ground.
Oh, here it is. You come back in whenever you want, mate.
Thanks, Robbie. Ball thrown up quickly in the forward line again. Hits the ground. And it's got to be picked up. They try to wear it through the contest. Picked up by Mays. Again, they've defended pretty well. Nice back there. In the hands of Belay, though. Runs and kicks the ball long outside 50 towards McGrath. Crawley's out there, obeying a favourable bounce, goes to Inverleigh, but it's picked up there by Sam Lowe. Kick was smothered, goes back and gets it again, got the handball away, intercepted there by Templeton, so there's a fair bit of pressure, and it's going to be held up shortly on the far side of the ground.
Hold the ball.
Good tackle there by Muir, and the umpire is going to transfer it. Now, that can't, well, it has to go back, I was going to say. Ben Muir didn't even touch it, the umpire was going to call play on, but he's done the right thing again. And he will call things back. So Dean Muir now far side of the ground. A low kick. That's a shocking kick going into the forward line. It's going to be picked up by Lowe again. He transfers play back into the middle. Ball runs onto it. Wants to go. Got the handle out the back. And a teammate there. Mulville.
Hang on. The umpire back here. I don't know whether he said he played on. This might be a 50, is it?
No, something happened.
Lowe's in trouble on the halfback flank too. Hasn't got up from that previous contest.
I didn't see what happened there, but there's a free kick coming back into the middle of the ground.
So he brought the ball back to where the first free kick was, the first mark was taken. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to ask about this. I'm not sure that can happen.
He's taking his card out of his pocket. What would he be writing on that, Robbie?
I don't know. He has to send someone off if he's been flattened. He can't just report him. He's got to send him off. So I don't think that's happened.
It's like he's holding his wrist or hand low on the far side of the ground there.
Yeah, he is.
Shoulder.
Yeah, it could be his shoulder as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's happened there, but gee, I know what I'd be doing. If I was out there playing and it looked like the other side were getting momentum, you just fall over and yell out, stop the game. I don't know whether you can stop the game.
Well, not without a stretcher, it seems.
Well, I thought that was the rule. I don't know if you're listening, Keats. Text through if you know the rules, because we don't know everything. Matter of fact, I don't know nothing. But text us through on what goes on here. I didn't think that could happen. I know These days, there's a lot of health and safety in
Yeah.
that when we weren't there. So I'm not criticising anybody. I really just want to know.
They've obviously paid a free kick club, so they must have seen what happened. So
No, they paid the mark though.
so
There
it's
was
not-
a mark.
So it's not down the field. Free
No,
kick.
it was a mark, and then he played on to another East Geelong player.
He did a fair bit of pain.
Yeah, and then the umpire. Now, is he going to report someone or not?
Need to bring whistle.
Yes,
What I say?
What a good thing that is.
And regardless of what happened, the worst thing is young Sam Lowe, one of my favourite players, is in a lot of pain, and I just hope it's not a long-standing injury because they need him.
Mars is going to be the recipient of the free kick from the middle of the ground. He decides to go long, quickly into their forward line, and out the back, as Martin's taken out there, and it's violent, it's taken the mark. So he'll now go back towards centre wing with a low, flat kick. Goes back to McEwen Walsh. Out there is also Manganelli, and he's up and takes the mark. So Manganelli now has options inside. He's going to be a dangerous kick. Goes back towards Wilson. Mark not taken. Got support there. Crowley got the handball away to Grundle. Grundle goes over the top to Hayes. Hayes goes back to Grundle. Looks across the ground. That's a good kick. Will it be? Gerard was there, but he's going to be picked up now. McLean got through the contest. Below they got the handball away only as far as Brown. He goes quickly into the forward line. Much of fortune went into Donohue's hands. Couldn't take the mark. Mars picks the ball up. And they run the ball sideways. Goes to McIntyre. A little bit of steady. Assuming gets back on his left foot. Kicks round the body. And the mark will be taken out there. McIntyre's in front of Will. And he's now got the ball. So he's on the half-back line. He'll kick along the boundary line. Kick. Mark not taken. Picked up on Miller. Handball goes out the back. Crowley goes sideways as the siren sounds in the first half here. We'll see Inverleigh going at 8-4, leading East Geelong 7-3. Goal kickers at this stage of the game. McEwen Walsh with 2, 1 each to Mays, Love, Dixon, O'Keefe, Robertson and Manganelli. And for the East Geelong side, 3 to Cordner Mars, 1 to Searle, Andrew and Smith. So we'll take a short break, come back. First half action we'll go through with Grubby. As I said, you listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Yeah, in 2 places apparently. It's bad.
And that, the umpire was. Third quarter action is on the way here. Ball's run up in the middle of the ground. And it's going to be brought out by East Geelong. They get the ball to Corner Mars. And he goes by hand to teammate and Dowsett. Dowsett, a nice delivery to the forward line. And Searle comes out and takes a mark. And you go back and start the quarter positively for East Geelong.
They're playing well enough to win this, East.
They are. As I said,
No doubt about
2 weeks ago, I wouldn't give them a chance of doing this.
Me
But
either.
they've obviously improved since then. It's a nice looking kick off the boot, but he has brought it a little bit to his right, and it's through for a minor score. So the first score of the second half to East Geelong. They moved to 7-4. They're one solitary goal behind Inverleigh on 8-4, and there's less than a minute played in this third quarter.
And unfortunate news for all the East Geelong listeners. It looks like Sam Lowe has broken his arm in maybe a couple of places, and we won't see him back today or maybe for quite a few weeks.
So Templeton now from the full-back position plays on and goes to the far side of the ground. Out the back, mark is not taken out there by Wilson. Young over the top of the ball, knocks it further afield, but again, East Geelong through McLennan once again. He's got his head over the ball. Umpire says the ball has gone over the boundary line, I think. And the umpire said yes, that's the case. And we're going to have a throwing to take place on that far side.
So McLennan will be in the ruck with Wilson. They've been going at it most of the day. Wilson again gets a very neat little palm down to a teammate there, back into the middle of the ground. Adam Donohue's underneath the mark. He upsets Manganelli. Manganelli's first onto the crumb, but tackled immediately. And we'll have ball up. It's inside the centre square. No side have any advantage of distance at all. Smack bang in the middle of the ground. Ball's thrown up. McLennan gets a little palm down. The umpire said that he was shepherding his teammate out, his opponent out, and Wilson will take the free kick for Inverleigh.
I don't think they play a free kick for shepherding the teammate out these days.
No, they certainly don't. Wilson kicks the ball down the half-forward flank, coming out as Grundle, can't quite hold the ball. Ball comes over the back of the pack. Mars for Inverleigh, across to Monaghan. He puts teammate under an enormous amount of pressure. Donohue actually sharks it. He can't get away with a good tackle. Bolitho is dragged to the ground, and the ball's not going anywhere. No, it's actually, it was Bolitho who comes up with the ball. So McLennan lays a little ball down there for a teammate, but coming through. Inverleigh grabbing the ball. He has been held. Yes, East Geelong going to get a free kick in the back pocket. And they'll set up another attack again. Neat little kick into the middle of the ground and finds McLennan. McLennan will be looking for Rich, and that's not such a great kick. Hasn't left the boot well. Coming over the back and taking a pretty handy mark under pressure is Ozolands. Pulled it out of the hands of Paddy Burke. He pops up looking for Watson and Searle, and he comes out and takes a very good mark.
I'll pay that, no worries.
Yeah, he definitely had that long enough. So Watson Searle wheels around on the left foot. He'll be looking for the very clever Zach Smith, who's been well held today. Violet's done a very good job on him over the back of the pack. Boundary throw in forward pocket, only about 10 metres around from East Geelong's goal. They trail 46 to 52. And we're just 3 minutes into the Grandy Sport and Cycle third quarter.
He has been held very well. I think he might have kicked 5 or 6 last week. Zach Smith, so yeah, it's a good job.
We've got a throw in now. It's Menzies and Wilson. Wilson double hands it straight down to Tyke when he's tackled immediately. Hand pass it across, but it's intercepted there for East Geelong by McGrath. Kicks it across the ground. It's out of bounds in the opposite
your
forward
boot's
pocket.
up again. Oh, no, it's not.
No, it's not. It's someone else this time. Thank goodness. Inverleigh have the ball, back pocket. They're looking to string something here together. It's Templeton kicks along down the line. Coming out is McIntyre. He can't hold the mark over the back of the packet. Releases Donohue. He gets away. A neat little pass looking for Jared Young. Punched away from him by Jacobs. That comes to Bolitho, but coming through is McEwen Walsh. He tries to grab the ball, can't. Comes out to Monaghan for East Geelong. Tapped out of his path. Picked up by Inverleigh. Back to Monaghan. Monaghan gets across to McIntyre. He kicks neatly down, but it is intercepted by Gerard. He kicks it in the middle of the ground. And it's Donohue's working much further up the ground than he was in the first half. And his little pass into the path of Grundle goes over the top of him. Oslerlands comes in for East Geelong, tackled immediately. There'll be no chance of him getting away. We'll have a ball up. It's just past the centre square, Inverleigh in attack.
That's really just got to sharpen up. It wasn't actually intercepted by. He
No,
put
it
it
wasn't.
down his throat,
Kicked
didn't
it down his gullet. Wilson again wins that tap out to Tyquin. Tyquin releases Love, kicks into the forward pocket. McEwen Walsh can't trap the ball. Mays, the elusive little forward, grabs hold of it. Jared Young, left foot snap over the shoulder, misses to the right. And further behind, Inverleigh 8-5, 53, East Geelong 7-4, 46. We are in the Granny Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Mars now with kicking injuries for full back position. Playing Donahue shadow for most of the day, but Donahue now working himself up the ground for a little while. Goes short, kick will need to be good. Was intercepted there, I thought it was going to be intercepted. Goes back to Monahan, got himself in and out of trouble. They need to get the ball out. Oswald's had it, he dropped the ball. This time Young's over the top, picked up by Burt, gives it to Grundle. He tries to force his way out of the contest, got his hands free, and the ball's now cleared towards centre wing. Templeman from behind. Ball tucked away from Searle. Again, they keep working down from Osland's got the handle of them. McLennan goes to Mulhall, and he goes into the forward line. Smith's there, Violet right with him. Ball out the back. Violet leads in the race for the ball. Traps it, gives the handball over the top. Umpire says it's gone over the boundary line by the sound of things. He's a long way back. I'm not too sure that was the case. I know Ryan Gerard believed it was over. He hands the ball back to the umpire, and we're going to have a throw to take place. Forward 54 East.
For a big fella, he's got a little bit of off the mark pace, Jack Fowler, hasn't he?
So yes, he has. Ball is thrown out and comes in and goes back towards him again. Ball back towards the boundary line, picked up by Gerard, goes to Robinson. Robinson on the left boot, goes back towards the 50-metre line. Mark is not taken out there by Lemper, picked up by Love. Love puts boot the ball. He goes back towards centre wing. Manganelli is out there. Also Monahan. Ball will go over the boundary line and throwing to take place. Far side of the ground through centre wing.
It's a game of inches, but he holds on to that. With the aid of the wind, that's a shot at goal, possibly a goal. He almost held it and just dropped it at the last minute.
We go at it once again. Wilson up in the air. Ball comes down into the hands there of Grundle. Goes round the boundary line looking for Manganelli. Didn't take the mark. Then made a good tackle.
No prior.
And no prior to ball. And the umpire will take possession once again.
Certainly the whip's gone out of those trees over there, so the wind has definitely died off. The ball's gone up McLennan and Wilson. No one really gets a tap ball straight to the ground. It's Andrew gets it across towards Young for Inverleigh. He kicks it forward. Ryan Richard drops a mark in the middle of the ground. Donohue elusively gets away from the team opponent. Sorry, kicks it across to McEwen Walsh. He can't hold the mark. Monahan again working very hard on the bottom to attack for East Geelong, but Donohue comes forward, goes for a big kick off the ground. That's immediately thrown to the ground.
It should have been a sling tackle, and it is. Good umpire. You've done it all day. You've played it right from the start, and that's a good decision. That's consistency.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
I think he waited to realise he'd been hurt by it was the reason why he took so long, but he eventually did the right thing, and that's good. That's a kick, puts a teammate under a lot of pressure, but he's been good enough to get away. It's Oswald. He kicks down the line, coming through. He's Templeton does a very good job. Gets away from Watson Searle. Dribbles through. Oswald comes through again. He's tackled immediately. Gets it. Oh, that's a very clever little disposal of the football. Gets it to Dowsett. Dowsett kicks down looking for Smith. He can't control it. Templeton gets it across to Crawley. Crawley to Filet. Filet wheels around. Hand pass to Tyquin. He's tackled immediately, but releases him now. With Filet kicks down the line. Mason Dixon has kicked the ball out of bounds on the full accidentally. Concedes immediately, stands on the mark, and it will be, I think it's called the mask for East Geelong. Has the ball right on centre wing and directly in front of us, looking to bring East into attack. They have the advantage of the little bit of breeze that's left. Kicks down into the forward line, punched away by Wilson. Gets it to Dowsett. He wobbles the ball forward very quickly. Templeton hand passes, but straight to Zach Smith. Smith passes across to Mulville. Mulville around on the left foot, snaps and misses to the left-hand side. 7-5 in East Geelong. They're exactly one goal behind Inverleigh's 8-5, and we are 9.5 minutes into the Grandie Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Well, breathe a big sigh of relief, young Templeton, because I was just about to say, hasn't he improved? He put it straight down his throat.
Very poor kick, so it's Brown now has the ball in the back pocket for Inverleigh, looking to set something up here. Just bobbles the ball forward in the path of Donahue. Rich comes out. Oh, that's very well intercepted by Paddy Burke. He gets back on his feet. No, that's actually Robertson. Robertson gets it back again, out of his hands. Kick forward by Jacobs, but goes straight to Muir. Muir kicks into the middle of the ground, looking for Finn O'Keefe, and he finds him. Goes to handball. Balks around the opponent, kicks down to the forward line. Manganelli running towards it. He's got there first, tackled immediately though. Jared Young comes through to Inverleigh, tries to kick it off the ground. Oh, Mason Dixon on the left side and kicks a lovely goal, the big fella. He's no good from set shots, but he's damn good snapping across his body with a left, Grubby.
Yeah, he is, and that was a real good one from in close, but a big mistake out here by the East Geelong boys. I know he couldn't stop the mark. Just jump on his head. Just jump on him, push him over, and give him a free kick. So the ball has to stop there, and you get a chance to pick it up. He didn't do that, and away they went. They had blokes everywhere. They were always going to kick a goal once he took that mark. He really would.
It's 9-5-59 now. Just a couple of goals clear. That might almost be the biggest margin of the day, I think. 2 clear goals. Inverleigh starting to get a little bit of a break. So in the middle again, Wilson, McLennan. Wilson's been jumping over the top of him all day. And he goes up and does the same again. But McLennan finishes up with a ball that falls in his arms over the back of the pack, though Muir from Inverleigh cleans up. And that's a great little mark from Monahan, who worked his way in front of Manganelli. He's done a very good job there. Lightly built young fella, but he gets around on his right foot now, kicks down the line.
Oh, he's put down after his kick, isn't he?
He's looking for Menzies. Yes, he has been knocked over. He's clapping Manganelli, so it'll be Dowsett. Dowsett kicks the ball into the pocket looking for Watson Searle, and he's got it, and he'll be less than 45 degrees, but he's a left footer, so that'll suit him nicely. Aimed for that left-hand goal post. It should just ease around nicely and keep East Geelong in the game. Watson Searle, he came across to the club from St Albans with Zach Smith, and the pair of them have been very productive forwards for their new team. Leaves the boot. Paulie.
It's the second one from nearly the same spot he's done there, the young fella.
Started right and stayed right, another behind. 7-6, 48 Inverleigh, 9-5-59, 12 and a half minutes. The Grandie Sport and Cycle third quarter.
Templeton with the ball now for fullback, and as he's done previously, plays on, goes far side of the ground, goes looking for McEwen Walsh, and he doesn't let him down, takes the mark outside 50. He wants to go quickly now back towards centre wing. Out there, Dixon once again, Mark not taking in blue with numbers in front of the contest. The first one misses, second one picks it up. Love it was, it got the handball back, so he puts his teammate under a little bit of pressure out there, and Young decides that running out of the boundary line might be the best option. Umpire comes in and takes possession on the far side. Walsh now doing some ruck work. Wilson must be on the bench. He is. Ball is thrown in. Again, clear away. East Geelong, they're starting to get on top of that area a little bit. Ball goes in quickly, and again, mark is taken there by the same place in Watson Searle, this time directly in front of goal.
Well, he's got to kick this one.
This is the one he does need to get. You're right, Grub. He's got to kick the ball every bit of 50, but that doesn't seem to be an issue from this position. It's a nice looking kick off the boot. Umpire says that looks pretty good. It has gone through for a goal. He has got his second goal of the afternoon, and now the 8th for East Geelong. They're 8-6. They trail Inverleigh on 9-5, 14 minutes gone. The Grandie Cycle Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Everyone keeps telling me the wind's dropped, but I tell you what, he kicked out from outside 50 without even trying. He didn't even try and kick it hard. He knew he had the distance. The wind's still a factor here. Look, Wilson's gone off the ground for a spell, and McEwen Walsh has gone in. It looks to me like McLennan's rucked all day. And I just think if he does run out of gas when Wilson comes back on, it's a disadvantage. When we saw Fanning go into the ruck, I know you might have to rob Peter to play ball, but he was sensational in the ruck up at Belpost Hill. I just reckon he might give him a bit of a spell for 5 minutes just to give him a rest.
So back in the middle, McLennan, but slapped out of his hand by McEwen Walsh. Love gets onto it, bounces off a couple of tackles, kicks it forward. Jared Young grabs it. He wobbles the ball up. Mason Dixon can't hold the line. Coming out as Cordner Mars very cleverly round the couple, but tackled second time. Comes out of his hands. Dalton Grundle picks up the crumb, cross into the pocket to Taekwon, and he kicks down in behind.
Well, that could be 50.
I think
No,
that's
it's not much
Mays
in it.
in the forward pocket.
No, it's Mays, that's why. Shifty little bugger.
He's fell over with a little bit of a bump, looking for a kick, not coming, and he's going to have a shot for goal. Forward pocket, very, very tight angle. He's kicking straight into the teeth of the wind. It leaves the boot very, very nicely indeed. The umpire rocks a little bit to the right, it's just to the right of the goalpost. Another behind to Inverleigh. They're 9-6. That is 60. 8-6. 54 is East Geelong.
Half-time score, anyway.
I'll have a bit of a whip around, Dale, while you call some action, son.
See where everything's at. Mars now bring the ball in from full-back position, goes low and flat. Oslich can't take the mark. Ball gets out the back, picked up by Bergen Inverleigh. Crowley goes backwards into the hands of found his teammate in Brown. Brown goes wider into the hands of Young. Young now looks up, chips the ball forward, going towards Donahue out the back, picked up Manganelli, got the handball over the top, went back towards Donahue. He's over the top of the ball, fed the ball out. Again, they've kept it rolling. Umpire says free kick, pushing the back, and it's going to go to East Geelong. Sleep in the pocket, and I think it might be Monahan once again. So, as we've spoken about, he chips the ball sideways to Mars, basically in the goal square. He goes further afield, dangerous kick, McIntyre, Gerard.
I don't like that one. I reckon they've done a really good job, the umpires, but that was poor, unless he called it top of the arms.
So McIntyre goes quickly down the field and finds his teammate in Helmore. Helmore now on the half-back line, looking to go towards centre wing. Going towards Menzies, ball gets out the back. Muir's going to lead in the race with the ball, goes back into the exit. He's tackled by Gordon Mars, and he had probably fired a few with it. Now he's sitting over it, and he's gone now.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
No, that's wrong.
Gordon Mars,
That is wrong.
picks the ball up, a little bit of time, handballs over the top, goes to Dowsett. Dowsett from the outside 50 goes long back towards the goal square. Coming across, Violet couldn't take the mark, tapped down. Again, ball in dispute,
Really, Grubby,
and he
where
will
do
see
they
it
get 'em
through
from?
for a -4. That is Jack Violet. So
Really?
East Geelong now to 8-7, and 9-6 to Inverleigh.
There's no way he could have got that ball out.
Yeah, the opportunity.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No way he did.
Robbie, does that umpire descent come from
And
the
they
bench
wonder
as well?
why people get shitty with the umpires.
Because there's good stuff there that probably could have been done. Anyway, it's over the back of the pack. It's Dalton Grundle can't get by, but Corden Mars again, Costa Mobile. He kicks into the forward line, coming through as Smith, but he can't get back into the spot. And the very, very good quality player, Jack Violet, has marked for Inverleigh. Kicks down the forward. That's a good mark by Muir. I think it'll be paid. He grabbed it inside the line. A good one grab clunk. And Muir for Inverleigh back flank. And to set up another attack for his team. Mason Dixon is getting in position, but Ryan Rich has come over and punched the ball away. It'll go out of bounds and we'll have a throw in right in front of where we're commentating beside the Inverleigh coach's box. They are leading by 5 points, 60-55. And it's thrown in again. Wilson gets a very nice little hand pass into the path of O'Keefe, but cleverly done by Corden Mars. Gets it across to his teammate McIntyre in the middle of the ground. He to Jacobs. Jacobs kicks out wide, finding some space out there as Dowsett. He's a very big, productive forward, but it's beaten him over the boundary line. Oh, goodness.
What do you mean deliberate?
It's deliberate out of bounds.
He was trying to get the footy.
Anyway, it's going to Inverleigh's kick down the line, and that's almost a good mark in front. Jacobs gets a hand pass to Lemper. He very cleverly avoids a teammate. Kick back in the middle of the ground looking for McIntyre. He's pushed out of the way by Robertson. He kicks forward and Mars comes out in front of Donahue. Very cleverly gets around him, but he can't get around Mays. Mays grabs it to Manganelli. Neat little drop punt from him into the forward pocket, but missed to the right. 9-7, 61. East Geelong 8-7, 55. And that's 19 minutes into the Grandy Sport and Cycle third quarter.
I'm not going to carry on, but why would a forward want it to go out of bounds? All he has to do is pick it up, maybe get a shot at goal.
So it's one in the back pocket. Rich has taken the mark. Moore stands about 10 metres away. He's asking for it. Rich has decided he's going to go a little bit longer. Maybe he should have gone short because it's going to be right near the boundary line. Ball comes back in. Jacobs is there. So's O'Keefe picked up by Gerard. He goes back into the forward line. Love comes out. Can't take the mark. Clean possession of the ball. Kick further forward. I think O'Keefe's ball went over the boundary line. And it's going to be thrown back in. The ball now thrown back in. And it's in the forward half, picked up back and tie up. Oh, he got through some traffic nicely there. Sold a little bit of candy. And it goes across the goal. Dangerous kick. Going back. Donahue scores is the issue. The ball comes out. Picked up by Mars. He goes by hand outside. And it's made it hard for his teammate in Andrew. He's coming the other way. Well, he's young. He takes possession, then put it down, went back and collected it. Went to Mays. Mays now has a little bit of time. And in the pocket goes towards the goal. And Monaghan, I think it was, couldn't take the mark because he got some opposition there from Robertson. And then goes over the boundary line, so we're having a throwing to take place.
Geez, that was good experience play by Young. He came in and he realised if he runs into him, it's a free kick. He stopped and let the East Geelong player run into him. Good thinking.
And the ball now thrown back in by the umpire in the forward top position. Geelong Walsh gets the ball out the back. East Geelong take possession of it. Now they run the ball, and the umpire comes in and takes possession of it, the ball should say. And the ball's not coming out. Ruckman Gallo once again. Geelong Walsh steps the ball back into the corridor. Handball from East Geelong, gets the ball running their way. Rich over the top of the ball, only as far as Robinson. Back by hand to Tyquin, goes back towards the goal square. Mark not taken. Geelong Walsh couldn't pick it up cleanly. Monaghan is there. Head over the contest, and umpire again will come back in. And he will settle things down at the top of the goal square by taking possession of the ball. Umpire now throws it back up again. The Geelong Walsh out the back, only as far as Rich. He runs the ball back towards the boundary line. Can't pick the ball up. There's Port there. Andrews gets the 1-2 and looks to go round the boundary line, but his kick's a little wide. Out of bounds to the full, so the pressure was relieved for a short time, but Hastings is going to put it straight back into their forward line. And he's going to kick the ball long, back towards the full forward position. Again, it's picked up. I thought Mars, I don't know how he got rid of that ball then, but he dropped it and led up again. Yeah, Lemp ends up with the ball, then kicks it into their forward line. So Templeton now leads in the race for the ball. Watson Searles in pursuit. The handball comes over the top, goes back towards Young, picks it up, goes round the boundary line by hand to Tyquin. Tyquin back to Templeton, looks across the ground. He's got a teammate out here and fouled all by himself. He didn't look this side, he stayed that way. Oh, mark was missed, goes back towards Dowsett. Brown did well, took the ball out of his hand, gave it up again though pretty quickly. Ice is the umpire, free kick's going to go. This time it's Osland's. He plays on quickly, goes into their forward line. Good kick to Smith. Can't take the mark. Ball comes towards the boundary line. Picked up Grozdanowski over the top. Goes to Filet. A little bit of time and space. Looks up. Low flat kick. Again, mark not taken by Inverleigh. Yes, Oslands from East Geelong took the mark. He transferred and played back inside. Dangerous. Went back and collected it once again. Got the handle of Mars. Coming through the middle of the ground. Taken by Mays. Got the handle away. I think his runner thought he was a teammate there. The colour of the jersey. Umpire says he's a leg. Advantage is now paid.
No advantage there.
No, it wasn't. Picked up there by Lemper coming through the contest. That was a throw out the back. In the hands of Monaghan. He goes back into their forward line. Menzies out in front. Can't take the ball cleanly. Goes back towards the boundary line. Gerard jumps on top of it. He bubbled over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in. Some pressure football being played out there at the moment. 23 minutes in the third quarter. It is 9-7 Inverleigh, 8-7 East Geelong.
Boundary throw in, it'll be Menzies going back to compete with Wilson this time. Wilson gets it cleverly across to O'Keefe. He can't quite break clear of the pack. Ball comes out of the pack to Hall. He back inside the Corden. The Mars has already kicked three. And from the pocket has a long shot at goal, but it's going to land back in the square, and it will be Inverleigh clearing the ball out to the half-back flank. Jared Young has got the ball now. He kicks it down to his good mate and coach Adam Donahue. He marks on the chest and kicks into the path of McEwen Walsh. And the big forward gets around on the left foot straight away, kicks long and low into the square, but just across to the right. Another behind. 9-8-62. Geelong East 8-7-55. 24 minutes done in the grand sporting cycle third quarter. Goal umpire waiting for his opposite goal umpire to pick the flag up and have a wave. And now, looks like Bolitho on the back top gets it across to Rich. Rich can't quite pick it up on the bounce, gets it to Mars. Mars hand passes back to Bolitho. He kicks across goal, looking for a teammate, and that is a very good strong mark behind by Helmore. Quickly plays on down the wing, looking for O'Connell. He's broken free of his man. A neat little run down the line, but that is a very poor kick, and kicks it straight to Violet from Inverleigh, and all that good build-up is wasted. Across into the back pocket, and Templeton takes the mark for Inverleigh. He waxes back with his mate Violet. We just have a little bit of a delay here, and Violet now another little short pass down the line, and he has found Taekwondo, did it? No, it might be O'Keefe on the far side of the ground. Rosdanovsky it is. Kicks down, punched away by Rich coming through Grundle. He can't break clear of the pack. Wilson slaps it onto his boot. Donahue waiting underneath it and takes a very, very good chest mark under a bit of pressure in the back pocket. Punched away by Helmore. Coming onto it is Jacobs. He's had a pretty good afternoon for the East Geelong side. McEwen Walsh is spun around but gets a hand pass away. Cleverly picked up by Ryan Lemper for East. His hand pass out to the half-back flank finds a youngster in Mulville. He can't get away. Cordner, Mast comes in, tries to pick it up, but it bobbles over the boundary line. Another throw-in, far side of the ground, while the boundary umpire grabs it. Bannockburn just in front of Thompson, 60 to 53. And 43 Bellpost Hill, 10 Corio. I think that's bold. Werribee 50, Anarchy 32. Geelong West have bolted away 88 to Belmont's 29.
96 to 29, the last one. So a lot of points there, though.
Nothing from North Geelong. They actually playing them. They forfeit. Ball back to the middle of the ground, goes towards Young, try and get the handball away. Again, it's running towards Gerard, drives on top of it, two hands to Young. Young gets away, got the handball back, but again, missed the target, so it's picked up there. Robinson goes back to Young, and he's now to stop and prop and goes into their forward line. Goes out towards Monahan, picks the ball up. Player on centre wing is Dowson, he goes in that direction, doesn't take the mark, picked up Robertson, he left it behind, goes back now, Dowson has it, underneath Robertson, ball still in dispute. You know what, there's a few tired boys out there because they're not taking the ball as clean as they were early on. Jacobs is there. Again, the ball is just bobbling around underneath a group of players. Umpire stands, waits, and now will come in and take possession of the ball. About to get the ball back in his hands. Flanning's doing the ruck work. Wilson's also there. Flanning in front. Wilson up over the top. Back to Tyquin. Took the tackle, got the handball away. Picked up there. Again, works to corner Mars. Got the handball away. Nice work there. And it was kicked away. They go back to in the half forward line by Andrew. And it's gone over the boundary line. So we're going to have another throw to take place. Time just outside their forward 50 for East Geelong. Ball thrown back in by the umpire. Means does the ruck work. Goes back and collects his own ball, but couldn't pick up plenty. Tyquin put it along the ground. Picked up by McIntyre. Kicks across the ground. Favours his teammate out there, McGrath. Needs to pick the ball up. Does so. Got the handball away. Put his teammate under a bit of pressure. He drops the ball. Umpire let things go. And this time now, it's a tackle being made. Umpire will come in and take possession. They've done pretty nicely in the lead to be able to hold that ball up. Ruckman go back at it once again. Means he's doing the ruck work. Gets the ball down. Picked up there. Was a bit of a bobble of the ball. Picked up there by McGrath. And he hits the goal. Umpire is called all clear. And that is a goal. So he has his first goal of the afternoon. And the ninth now for East Geelong. 1 point margin. East Geelong 9-7. Inverleigh 9-8. 28 minutes gone. Grandy Cycle Sports third quarter scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, they just keep fighting and fighting and fighting. I think they need a couple more goals, but they're not letting this go. And I've just got a message from Jason who reckons that North Geelong scores are on the app.
Really?
Can anyone tell me that he's full of rubbish?
Well, they're not on this app, unless there's two apps. Okay, we are back in the middle. We have a game on our hands here. Definitely got the close one. 1 point only. Here at the Morton Power Oval. And McLennan and Wilson again. Wilson gets a very decisive tap. Dalton Grundle can't break away. Would nearly have been penalised there. Cordner Mars, who's really racking up some numbers now. To McIntyre has also been a great player, but Jared Young will take the advantage of that extra length in the kick over Mitch Hoare and takes the mark. Gets across to Tyquin. Tyquin has got plenty of time on the outer wing. Long, low drop under the forward line, but Ryan Rich has read it better than Mason Dixon, the experienced defender. Marks for East Geelong and repels another promising Inverleigh attack out in the back pocket. And Ryan Mulville, who's also played pretty well not Ryan. It's which one of the boys is it? It's Austin who's played a particularly good game this afternoon. The siren has gone for three-quarter time. 29.5 minutes in the third quarter. The De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. 9.862 Inverleigh. East Geelong 9.761. Dale Smith, give us some goal figures.
Yes, goal figures for the home side, 2 to Mason Dixon and also McHugh and Walsh, 1 each to Love, O'Keefe, Robertson and Manganelli, and for East Geelong, Paul de Mars has 3, Watson Searle 2, 1 each to Menzies, McGrath, Andrew, and Zach Smith, who I think's left the field with a leg injury, I reckon, a calf, by the looks of him. So it's a 1 point margin here at three-quarter time. Take a short break, come back with final quarter action. Listening to 94.7 The Pulse, the home of local football.
The home side are 1 point in front at three-quarter time. We're about to go into the Morris Finance quarter. Grubby, Inverleigh got a little bit of breeze. Are they going well enough to take advantage and win?
Yes, they are. There's no doubt about that. But, as I said the other week too with East Geelong, they can too. Because they're just fighting and scrapping. They've got a lot of blokes who are not playing as best they can, but they're all having such a go. And they're putting a lot of pressure on the Hawks. And the Hawks just can't get their run and game going that they usually use to knock sides out of the water. But I think Tyquin, I didn't count him. I stopped writing them down. He didn't get as many in in the third quarter as he did earlier.
Going all right.
Jared Young, I thought, was playing a great game down there. Luke Wilson's winning in the ruck. Ryan Robinson come into the game that quarter or the last two quarters. I thought he was really good. Templeton's done a wonderful job. Made one mistake, but he got away with it. And Jack Filett's just given the real good player, Smith, a real hiding here at the moment. But as a forward, it only takes one quarter. Thomas Corden, the Masters, playing pretty good footy. Brett McGrath had a good quarter. I missed him. Jake Dowsett, he's starting to get the ball and starting to use it a bit better, which is great to see. McIntyre had a good quarter. Lemper and Richard's standing tall down the back line. But I tell you what, this could go either way. I still believe the wind is a factor, and if it's used properly, it'll be to Inverleigh's advantage. But I tell you what, the way these boys from the east are fighting, they're doing what Bannockburn did. They're just playing their hearts out against a really good side on their home deck. And I still think East are a chance to win, but I just favour Inverleigh because of that bruise.
Yes, it's looking at the top of the trees. They're certainly not whipping as much as they were earlier, but there's no doubt it's still blowing. But the way the modern game's played this way, that the tenacity and skill of players, if you just keep chipping away, as both sides have done against the wind, no one's really had an advantage of it.
No, they haven't. But
those long kicks are goal.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because from outside 50 going down to the left hand, they're not kicking goals. It's holding up. But from here, they're kicking them from outside the 50 without even trying. So the wind, even though the trees aren't that blowing that, it must be there because there couldn't be such a difference between kicking for goal at both ends or at either end.
Okay, brave enough to call a winner, Grubby?
I'm going to go for Inverleigh because of that breeze, but I'll tell you what, they're going to have to work real hard for it.
You won't pick Dale, you're going to sit on the fence with me.
Inverleigh by 5 goals.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Well, you get us started.
Righto.
I'm surprised he said that too. I feel these decisions he's called, and, picking Inverleigh after they sacked him. I didn't think he'd ever split him again. But just imagine if they didn't sack him, we wouldn't be here today because they'd be still on the bottom.
Waiting for the umpire to raise the ball, and that's what he's done right now. And it's game on last quarter. As I said, I'll pick them by 5. Let's hope they can answer the challenge. Ball in the middle of the ground. It's going to come out. It's going to be through the east alongside McIntyre. He goes long into the forward line, going back. Mark not taking back there. It's picked up there. I think it was Menzies got the handball out. I think it was McGrath. And again, they overrun the ball. Picked up by Dowsett. Back to McGrath. Kicks round the body. He won't bring it back far enough. Actually, it's going wider than I thought. Ball is still kept in the field of play. Tap back towards the boundary line. Templeton, but the ball now goes over. And we're going to have a throw-in to take place beside the behind post.
Talking about blokes sitting on the fence, are you having a pick or not?
Yeah, Inverleigh by 17 points.
All right. Well, I'm going for East. I mean, buggies.
Oh, dear. Ball's going to be thrown in. It's only 2 or 3 metres round from the... Oh, no, now that he's got the ball, it's more like 10 metres around from the behind post. But East Geelong in attack. They're against a little bit of wind, 1 point down. Menzies uses his body, cleverly gets it into the path of Gordon the Master. Left foot kick. I think that's his 4th for the afternoon, Dale Smith. And a fine game he has played. Good start, Grubby.
Here they come, the mighty Eagles. Look out, boys. But I didn't have the binoculars on it, so I shouldn't comment too much. But I just thought there was a huge push there. Pushed the Inverleigh bloke over where the ball wasn't there. But as I say, I'm a long way away. This kid can play football. What does he kick? 4?
Yep.
And I reckon there's another one in him. So I reckon he could get 5. He's played well around the ground. And I'll tell you what, I like the kid. I reckon he's a really good player. And that really puts some pressure on the Inverleigh Hawks now. As Bannockburn did a few weeks ago on Anzac Day. And now they've got to fight their way to make you two blokes not look like idiots.
Ball back in the middle, picked up down there by Tyquin, tried to get rid of the ball, went back and collected it again. And again, the umpire now says there's no play opportunity there. And we're going to have the umpire come and take possession of the ball. Doing that back in the centre of the ground, tap down there, was tackling McIntyre once again. But he was tackled very quickly. And this time the ball back to the umpire.
Just on that, they would have to improve to win by that 5 goals, seriously, because they're not playing well enough for it now.
No, right. So the ball comes back into the hands of McIntyre once again. He kicks the ball around the corner.
Good kick, Macca.
Goes to that player, and then he goes
look down the ground, Mark.
Going towards Crowley. He couldn't take the mark. Ball comes out. Picked up there. Handball goes back to Filer. He's tackled with the pressure there. Umpire will make a decision, so he dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think he might have. He had that move.
He kicked the Menzies, and he will go back and try and put. increased the margin, I should say, for East Geelong.
I just think he had a bit of time to get rid of it before he was tackled. I think the umpire's got that smack on the button.
And Menzies now.
But old Lindsay and all haven't gone berserk on the fence, so I reckon they might have thought it too. Good decision up.
And the ball with Menzies, as I said, has one for the afternoon. And from about 15 metres out, almost directly in front, can go back and kick his second goal. Comes in, Nice can kick off the boot, and that.
I tell you what, he's missed it.
He has missed it.
You can't miss them.
Oh dear. Not at this stage of the day. 10-8, East Geelong, 9-8 Inverleigh, 3 minutes gone. Final quarter, Morris Finance, final quarter action. With Timberman now deciding that he's going to take charge and go straight down the middle. Burke couldn't take the mark, goes towards Dixon. Dixon puts Beaker's ball, goes back into the forward line, but going back, Mark is taken out there by Izo, just positions himself nicely, handles across to Mars. Mars now will go further afield, and Mark is taken out there by Noble again. Noble now sits short, but goes to Monahan, but he did most of the day. And on set win.
Yeah, I've liked him.
Yes.
Quite a dangerous game, mate. The fence still aren't far on.
So he now plays on now. Umpire calls it. He goes towards their half forward line. Mark is going to be taken off his run, strong in front. They all settle things down for them below. So a little bit of work to be done here.
Oh, that's 50, is it? Gone too close. Just like we.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a man standing mark because he even moved.
I don't think
He
so.
never twitched.
I think he ran within the 5 metres.
That's 50 years. Anyway, doesn't matter. The ball's now going to go quickly back into their forward line coming out. Donahue had the mark. And he will finish it off. Go back and kick for goal. He's about 35 to 40 out, directly in front of goal.
Be careful, because as I understand this descent rule, even though the play's up here, if young Dowsett says to the other umpire, hey, what's going on, he can still pay 50. So you're better off just keeping your mouth shut, mate. Let it go down. You can't change it.
Donahue hasn't troubled the scorebook this afternoon and has now got a chance to level things up once again. And Donahue now comes in, kicks that goal, and he's missed it. As soon as he let the be, he looked at us and said that wasn't good. And it is 9-9 now to Inverleigh, 10-8 to East Geelong.
See, I know the East Geelong bloke missed an easy one, but now it's back to even Steven, because Donahue should have kicked that. So I'm going to blame anybody. It's even Steven. And I tell you what, I think your 5 goals are in trouble, isn't it?
You reckon?
Very confident. His tails, man. Very confident indeed. The experienced former VFL champion. It's Marks from East Geelong. Uses his full distance, kicks down the line over the back of the pack. Ball comes towards Dowsett. He can't win possession over the boundary line. Almost on the centre wing. East Geelong desperate to keep this lead. They got coming against a slight breeze. 5 points in front they are.
How many games did you play?
6.
Where? At Geelong.
Which level?
Seniors.
7.
How many good ones?
7.
It's Wilson kicks the ball into the forward line, punched away by Helmore, and his Mars, who's kicked it off the ground, need to be very careful. That didn't go out of bounds. He overruns it this time. He's very upset. It comes to Finn O'Keefe. He's a good player. Hand bounces to the boundary line to Donahue. He kicks across the body. McEwen Walsh tries to get possession. Helmore's done a really good job. Gets it over the back of the pack to McIntyre. And it's pushed through for one behind. 4 points to margin now. 6.5 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter. Morris Finance, the major sponsors of the Geelong and District Football.
Harley Jacobs, let me tell you, don't run to a contest where there's already 2 out and leave Donnie on their own, because he's always going to handball it to him.
Yeah,
Stick on him, son.
Monahan gets another kick. He's had plenty of them this afternoon. The young fella kicks out the pocket. And Corden Amas, who's also had a big chunk of the footy and 4 goals and may be in line for a bit of Wagyu beef. Hang on, mate. Let's kick that to the back pocket for East. McIntyre gets on, cleverly gets around. O'Keefe hand passes back to Mars. He's out looking for options. Kicks down to looking for Austin Mulwell. He does a very good job. He's tackled over hand pass as well and releases Hoare. Hoare does a neat little kick into the forward line, but Filer comes out and reads it better than McGrath, and he gets away. Brown very cleverly gets around. McGrath kicks down the line, but Ryan Rich has released pressure for East Geelong. Tim McLennan's got the ball in the middle of the ground. He's dropped punt, goes out wide looking for Hoare. He can't quite take the mark. Good defence by Inverleigh, but coming through is Cordner-Mars again for East Geelong. Can't get away. The umpire is going to come in and throw it up.
See what I mean about smarts? Finley O'Keefe then, he didn't run to the play with the ball because he knew he'd handball over the top, so he stayed halfway and forced Smarts to kick between him.
Well, that should have been a free kick to McLennan. Shepherding in the ruck. Ball's come out to the halfback flank. Austin Mulville can't get away. It's Dowsett who does a very good job. Gets it in front of Jacobs. Jacobs tackle from the front, from the back, and
There's a lot of pride there.
drop the pill. The
3 seconds then.
He was tackled pretty quickly.
Inverleigh have got the ball now. Kick it long into the forward line. Donahue coming out. Gone over the back of the pack. Mars, who's done a really good job on Donahue all day, gets away from the veteran again. And Mars, a low drop punt down the line and finds Jacobs. Halfback flank. East mounting something else again.
I'm not saying the umpire's wrong. I just think they might let him a little bit more at this level, that's all.
And Jacobs kicks down centre wing. Menzies underneath a big pack. Punched forward again by Cordner-Mars. But it's Inverleigh defenders in Follett. He kicks long and low. Finley O'Keefe can't get the ball, but he picks up a crumb. It's kicked forward to Donahue. He uses his body very cleverly. Just edged his way in front. One possession and a quick left foot snap across his body through for a goal. And that puts the Hawks back in front. 10-10-70 East Geelong. 10-8-68. And that's 9 minutes 20 seconds in the last game of the final quarter.
Smithy and I discussed earlier that maybe Donahue come up the ground a bit and be the feeder. Be the one to kick it because it's a beautiful kick. And maybe he was being just a little bit lazy sitting down there. But when you get a thing like that where it's one-on-one and his class just shows out, I don't know if anyone else would have got around young Mars like that, but he was just terrific. But now, the fact that they got Mars on him, are they losing something if he stays there? Are they losing... Well, how many is that the same bloke?
Yeah, he's been on all day.
No, there's not Cordner-Mars. Cordner-Mars is in the middle doing a really good job. That's the cousin
The cousin.
or the brother or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say,
There's two of them.
well, yeah. Well, he's always going to beat that. He's always going to beat that Mars. I'll tell you that.
It's just another bar. So the ball now picked up in the middle of the ground, goes forward, and it's going to go quickly into the forward line. Filer runs back and tries to win possession of the ball. Lemper comes out. That's a strong tackle. And that one, though, he didn't have any chance.
No,
I agree with that decision.
So how come one's Mars and one's Cordner-Mars?
So they got different.
Is there any relation to Dennis Cordner from Melbourne?
Probably. That's
Well,
why
he's-
he's used it, I reckon.
It's his wife's maiden name, and Dennis Cordner's his grandfather.
There you go.
much. Thank you, Never Whitney.
There you go. So that's where the class comes from.
I'll start calling myself Richard Jezelenko occasions. He's my uncle.
Ball's thrown in the forward pocket. It's McLennan and McEwen Walsh. Tyquin gets onto the ball. A funny little handball.
That was funny, or what?
And he's going to get 50 if he says that again. But he didn't agree with that. Cordner-Mars, who we were just speaking of, that's a lovely little pass into the pocket. And that is a very, very good mark indeed by East Geelong's Fraser O'Connell. I think that's him. McGrath, is it? My eyesight needs to be fixed. McGrath hand passes.
He's still
No.
lining him up. You've got to bring him back.
This is a tough hit here, but I wasn't telling you.
Oh, it is. Yes, the wind's blowing the wrong way.
Not for a former VFL player, would you? You'd stick this right through the middle, wouldn't you?
Oh, dear. McGrath.
Blindfolded.
That's 50 odd games less than Eric.
McGrath in the forward, very tight in the forward pocket. Kicks, he'll have the wind wobbling across the face, but it didn't push it as much as he'd hoped. And pulled up short to the left. And another
You're right.
behind.
You're right. That's a tough kick. Maybe you might have moved into this top speed.
15 out would have been ideal.
Yeah.
From Devlin goes to the pocket. Mark is taken out there. And in the lead with the ball. They're going to run the ball. Crowley. He goes long towards centre wing. In front, Grundle can't take the mark. Handball comes out the back. So Inverleigh got some runners outside now. They missed the target. Love went back and got it nicely. Puts boots the ball, goes into their forward line. Mars leads in the race for the ball. He gets there first, picks it up clean. He got the handball away, only as far as Mays. He was tackled, good strong tackle too.
That's holding the ball.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
good decision,
Yeah,
yes.
good goal.
No doubt at all.
And McIntyre has been a good player for East Geelong. Goes short. Okay, McLennan has got the ball, so he's going to transfer play across. He was going to, but then decided not to. Now he decides to go that way. Oslands takes the mark and continue if he wants to.
That was play on.
I thought he wants to. He called play on the umpire. He goes into the forward line. Good use of the football. And the mark has been taken out there by Lemper. Quickly inside. And again, McGrath comes up with another opportunity. Now, he had something here early on, I think, in the game. And he kicked it, I think, from this position. So he's got a great opportunity now to go back and put East Geelong back in front.
He's going to kick outside 50. I think he was closer earlier, but he's confident.
A bit of breeze. Coming straight into his face, I think. He leads on. He goes wide to Searle. Gave him a task, but I tell you what, he made that very nicely, and he's gone back. And he will take a kick at goal.
I think his mum and dad might be listening.
Who's that?
Watson Searle.
Watson Searle? Okay.
We just keep calling him Searle. His mum and dad, his friends will say, "Who's this bloke?" You don't like hyphenated names, do you?
Absolutely
No,
not.
you do not like them.
And that kick is going to come back, and it'll come back
Very
very
nicely.
There you what?
So he can kick a goal, Watson Searle.
Where the Eagles?
11-9 now, East Geelong. 10-10 Inverleigh, and we have gone almost 14 minutes.
Morris Finance final quarter action.
They just keep having a crack. They just keep going. At times, Inverleigh look $1 million, but they just keep getting their bodies in the way. I reckon their forward line's small. I don't think Watson Searle's a real big bloke. But the last couple of goals they've kicked is some beautiful field kicking around the ground. That's their main gut. And if Inverleigh can put the pressure on them doing that, they can struggle. But at the moment they're not. And East Geelong are playing great football.
In the middle, it is Wilson again who gets the tap out, but it's McIntyre who's been really good all
They
afternoon.
come again.
Does the give go, gets it down the forward line, punched away by Gerard, but Brown comes through for Inverleigh. He's tackled immediately. The ball bobbles out. No, that was it in the back. And Gerard will take free kick for Inverleigh. He's had a pretty good game this afternoon, a little left footer. He's going to get across to Tyson, but someone coming off the bench had him covered. So Brown kicks it back into the
Dangerous.
middle of the ground. Umpire calls play on. Ryan Lemper did a really good job there to mark a couple and coming through. And Watson Searle has taken another mark. Lemper's found him for the second time in a row. He's going to be kicking from further out this time. He'll have to kick from about 48 metres by the look of that line. He's on the side that will favour him. The left footer, he'll curl it left to right with the help of the breeze. If he's got the leg to get there, he's certainly got the skill to kick it. He's proven that through the afternoon. So Watson Searle chance to put. No, it's faded badly. Tried to oomph too far. Ran out of gas. Out of bounds. Forward pocket, about 5 metres round, but he's still in attack. 5 points up, and we are 15.5 minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter.
Well, Bannockburn had them in trouble, and they fell short by 4 points. Can East cause the upset of the year?
Yeah, it's over the front of the pack. That's a very interesting handball. Comes out, favours Inverleigh. Wilson picks up the handball and then kicks long down the line, waiting at the back of the pack. That's a great little bit of work by Mason Dixon. He gets a second go at it after his first kick was fumbled, but there coming up is Mars marking behind Donny, who used his skill and reading of the play very well. Acosta Belutho, he's got a player on his own, and it's Austin Noble who's worked really, really hard up and down the wing all afternoon. The youngster, still only a teenager, he's been very, very impressive. Austin Noble kicks down, but it's really to the help of no one. Cordner Mars comes from nowhere, got 2 high tackles, missed. Dowsett's copped one, he's been pulled up really quick. The umpire said no prior opportunity. And we're just inside the 50-metre arc. East in attack, 5 points up.
Yeah, a bit of cramp there too, so get him back up and running. He's on the bench with a rub, get him going. Ball now comes down and ran to his own teammate there, and unfortunately was tackled, brought to ground once again. And struggled in tackling.
We're the Centrals won by 23 points. The bloke texted me, I said, "Is it over?" He said, "Yes, thank God."
The ball is picked up from the contest. They go back towards their full forward position. Picked up there, Crowley. Well, he's not travelling too well at it. I think he's got a bit restricted in his movements. Bird's out there, keeps the ball in front of himself. Umpire said there was a hold, goes to Mays. No advantage there. The umpire's going to call it back. So free kick back to Burt.
I hate hearing that second whistle.
Yeah.
Because I think it's 50.
Burt now goes outside back to Templeton. He goes long into their forward line, goes towards Love. Out the back, Rich gets the ball over the boundary line. He'd be happy for players to get back and give some assistance. So Ball now in the forward half for Inverleigh.
And this is the vital part of the game. East have had it up there, so, and how many times do you see a side, especially a good side, bring it down once or twice and kick a goal? So East have to be right on their mettle here. Don't give them a shot at goal from this far out.
So Wilson and McLennan going back to back work. Ball comes through the back of the contest, picked up by Lemper. Lemper goes back towards centre wing. In front, the ball goes out the back now, and Menzies will see it over the boundary line. So they've done that nicely. Been able to control things on the far side of the ground.
Get Dom straight back! Get him straight back!
And umpire with the ball now.
Gotta go,
Gains there. Wilson's in the ruck there. John Walsh back on the ground. Thrown back in by the umpire. Ball gets to the front of the contest. East Geelong working pretty hard out there. It's kicked off the ground. There's a holding decision. It's going to go East Geelong's way. I think it's going to McIntyre. So McIntyre with the ball. And he's on centre wing. A little chip kick is okay. Lemper. Again, a good bit of possession football from East Geelong. Just asking for players to come across the ground, put himself under a little bit of pressure now. Plays on, goes short, good lead up, and that's a good kick. This guy's presented pretty nicely, McGrath, most of the day. Needs to finish the work off here. Again, this will be a testing kick from right on 50.
Did he make the GDFNL team of the year last year?
Yes, he did.
I reckon he was on the bench. Yeah, he was. He kicked a lot of goals last year early. Yeah, good kid. Good kid. Now be a better kid and put this right through the middle, son.
This would be testing material. As I said, it's a good kick, but this is the thing you can win a game of football. He sees a short option, goes wide, and the kick is okay.
He dived. He took a dive to try and get 50 just like Maisie did before.
Why wouldn't you?
And the umpires, again, are awake up to it. Real good umpiring.
So again, I'm not too sure of the kicking capabilities of Billy Andrew, but we're certainly going to find out shortly.
Well, I reckon he's a good kick, and I think one of the reasons McGrath passed it, he was just grabbing it. He looked like it had a cramp then for a minute.
Yep. There's a few out there with the same symptoms.
Yeah.
Right? So we're starting to feel the pinch, as I said. Comes in now. Kicks at goal. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad looking
That
kick.
is straight through the middle.
And that then makes the distance a little bit further out. 12-9 now to East Geelong. 10-10 Inverleigh. And we have crossed over 20 minutes, final quarter. Morris Finance.
It's about 6 goals, 1 out, isn't it?
Hey?
It's about 6 goals, 1 out.
It's about 1 goal price for me.
I love the way he kicked at the ball. He knows that he's probably kicking against the wind. He didn't just follow through with it. He kicked it like he was kicking it. Well, no, I can't say that. But he kicked it really hard. He just went bang as hard as he could and just relied on him to be straight. And straight it was.
In the middle of the ground, McLennan this time wins a much more of the hit out of that one. O'Keefe comes for Inverleigh. He's going to have to do a really good job. Burke bursts his way through the pack, kicks forward, punched away by Bolitho, but Inverleigh are first onto it with Burke again. Dribbles to McIntyre. He tries to get away. The umpire and is going to have to penalise him. He did a pretty good job running backwards to try and get some movement, but the tackle was too severe. And Ryan Gerard for Inverleigh, long, low, left foot into the forward line. Brundle had nearly enough of it, but not quite. Back to Tyquin. Tyquin kicks in, looking for Donoghue. He's making good position, but Mars did a very good job. Held him under the ball. Hand pass across to Lemper. Lemper hand pass a long way back to Monaghan, who's done a really good job. Quick kick by him. Out to the half-back flank. O'Connell's going to have to do good in a nest of 4. He couldn't. Gerard is now running around on his left foot, and I would have backed him to kick that. The quality of his foot. And he has missed to the right. That's a 1 behind only. 10-11, 71. East Geelong at 12-9, 81. And we are 21 and a half minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter. My 17 points is looking better than your 5 goals, Dale.
Well, at the moment, my East Geelong's looking as good as your 2 Inverleighs.
I would have thought so. So it's Mars for Inverleigh Reese done a really good job on Donoghue. That is a shocking kick, but it's landed right in the guts of Austin Noble. And he's going to be kicking from just inside the 50-metre arc. He's still doing a really good job. Noble goes wide, close to the boundary line. Wise decision. It's come over the back of the pack. Inverleigh run on through O'Keefe. Coming through to take the handball there is Filer. He kicks down the line, waiting underneath it very courageously, smacked from behind by the very heavy McEwen Walsh. The young fella, he's lengthy. I reckon O'Keefe has got the kick for Inverleigh. Play on. quickly kicks into the forward line. Donahue comes out in front of Mars, can't hold the mark. Manganelli does a good job. Tackled immediately. Rich gets it for East. Kicks down the line, put his team under a lot of pressure.
That's a
And
bad
Finn
kick. You
O'Keefe,
can't go back across goal.
Finn O'Keefe takes a really good mark in front of Bolitho, who that pass was aimed for, but it needed to be centimetre perfect, really, and it wasn't.
No, it needed to be out here when they were a goal up. It needed to be out here, defensive. But I tell you what, I used to mind going in the back into a pack. I tell you what, I've been thinking twice with Big McHugh and Walsh coming up behind me. Did you know he's going to thump you legally?
Finn O'Keefe, he'll kick from 48 metres. The right footer leaves the boot now. It's high, it is long, and it is straight. The Hawks are back in it. 11-11-77. East Geelong 12-9-81. 23 and a half minutes into the Morris Finance last quarter. Grubby, how you feeling?
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was as he ran in, I thought he's going to run too close to the man on the mark here, which he probably did. So then he had to lift the kick, and I think in the end, without the advantage of that breeze, I don't think he would have kicked it. But he had to lift it. He ran very close. But again, that's a terrible mistake going across to the centre of the ground. Even if you kick it to an opposition player out here on the boundary, it's so much harder to get it back in through the goals. And I'd be sending a runner out saying, mate, don't do that again, because it could cost us.
So back in the middle we go again. Wilson's going up. McLennan. McLennan gets the ball down. Only as far as now the free kick being given. It was Tyson. And he's head over the ball. So now Tyson with the ball right in the middle. After player now by the umpire, this does, and he goes long into the forward line. McHugh target ball hits the ground, picked up by Gerard. Doesn't have it cleanly. East Geelong on hands and knees, goes towards Hayes, picked up by Donahue. Went out the back of Finn O'Keefe, put him back the ball.
Oh, good on you, coach.
Yeah, no. Ball, now there's a free kick being given a hold, and it's going to go to East Geelong, I think. Oslands. And he has got the ball. Finn O'Keefe might have checked Jack's.
I think so.
Ball, whatever it's called. And the ball now goes back towards centre wing. Contest made. Muir has the ball, got through. Umpire says free kick, so it's going to be Muir in the lead. Just gone to centre wing. Not too sure what that was for, Grub. I agree that time. Ball goes back into the forward line in front. Grundle, ball gets to the front of the contest. Grundle worked hard to pick the ball up, got it out the back towards Hayes. Over the top is McIntyre. Ball sits in the contest. Umpire comes in and will bring a ball up. Towards 25 in the last quarter. And Ruckman now getting through the contest. Wilson doing the work. McLennan's there. Ball is tapped further afield. Picked up. East Geelong. They have the ball. Umpire said call play on. So we should come up. Now ball up. Monahan has the ball. He's going to let it
God, take ball up.
Yep. He had to.
9-3!
You just leave it in there too long. People can get hurt. That was too long. But you've done a good job.
So the ball now is Wilson, taps the ball back into the contest. It's ball right, McIntyre over the top of it, picked up there, goes to Tyquin, kick was smothered off the boot, picked up, handball ends up in the hands of Gut. What are you thinking of that? I thought. Don't say anything, mate. Yeah, McLennan's done the right thing there. Tell his mate to be quiet.
I think there was a modern handball. It's probably
We've seen some worse ones today.
So when you've got to strike the ball off the palm of your hand with a clenched fist, he certainly didn't do that.
So Love now will kick from right on the 50-metre line. Steps in, kicks that goal. It's going to hang to the right and through for a -4. So 11-12 now to the Inverleigh side.
And I thought I heard an East Geelong spectator yell out, all you deserve.
12-9 there to East Geelong, and we have gone 26 and a half final quarter.
That was rip and play by McLennan. Because if he mounts off in 50, they can lose.
Mars has the ball for East Geelong. A rip again from him today in the back pocket against Donahue. Punches the ball forward, coming over the back of the pack. Jared Young, who had a lot of it's gone out of the game, but back in there. Quick kick down, looking for Watson Searle. He can't get it. Tackles Manganelli. The ball drops from the hand. It's McGrath for East Geelong trying to get hold. There's a heap of bodies in there. Someone breaks clear of the plate. It's Corden Mars. He gets it across to young Menzies. He kicks down the forward line in front of the pack. The ball wobbles over the back. It could come out into space for East Geelong here. Dowsett's doing his best to get it. It's Hugh Menzies who gets it out in the open, but not too far away. Inverleigh's defence is desperately trying, but bursting through the pack there is Watson Searle. Kicks into the forward line. Waiting back there is Love for Inverleigh. He kicks out wide and finds Manganelli on his own. The small forward, that is a brilliant smother
Good on
by
you, son.
young,
That's magnificent.
by young Monaghan. He does a very
And now
good
gets
job.
a free,
Probably
doesn't
got head high over the back, punched forward there by Love. Can't get through again is Jacobs. Lots of players jump on the ball. Has to be a ball up. My goodness, that could have been a match-winning smother there
How
by
much
young
do they
Monaghan.
want, the Eagles?
Yeah, they're doing a
Geelong
really good
West
job.
16-21, Belmont 6-7.
Ball goes up, punched forward by Wilson. Running onto the ball is Grundle for Inverleigh. Bursting through the pack. Bolitho is first there for East Geelong. Bends down very quickly on the run. Neat little pick up. Kicks down the line looking for Lemper. Punches away from a teammate there. Jacobs doing a really good job.
He's dived on it.
He's underneath. It's been taken out of his hands by O'Keefe. It's not. It's Manganelli. We're 28 and a half minutes. There can't be long left. We haven't had too many gone 30. Wilson again. That's a lovely tap towards O'Keefe. Quick little left foot kick for him. Donahue handball, palms over the back of the pack. Coming through for East. Picked up by Grundle. Grundle has a quick snap at goal. He's missed it. It's 2 points lead now to East Geelong. They've got the ball in the goal square. There's can't be any more than a minute left. The desperate finish.
2 trips to Inverleigh, 2 cracker games of football.
Absolute crackers. It's Mars again for East. He knows take as much time as he possibly can, and he'll be kicking it as close to the boundary line as he possibly can.
On. You can't just stand there.
So he goes now, runs as far as he can, and he kicks exactly right, close to the boundary line. A sensible player would be punching it across, but an even more sensible one has taken a really strong mark, and that I think is Ryan Lemper, or is it Helmore?
They're going to win the Eagles.
Might be Helmore. I think they are going to win. No, it is Lemper. Lemper kicks straight down the line, front of the pack, but over the back for East. It gets it to Haw. Haw kicks the ball on the forward line, waiting at the back of the pack. Watson Searle, he can't get it, but picks up a crumb, has a quick snap at goal.
He's got it!
And
he's
kicked the goal.
That's it! That's got to be
and
it!
that is definitely the sealer. And the Eagles are going to be triumphant at the Morton Power Oval in Inverleigh. First loss for the Magpies for quite some time, I'm sure now. We're getting close to the 30-minute mark. And East have hit the front grubby. You put a smile on your face.
Well, it just shows who knows about football. Actually, I won't say that. I might go too early.
I think the tape will show that you picked Inverleigh at 3/4 time. But look, we won't bring that up.
No, I changed it. Remember?
Yeah, I know you went early.
Then I said, no, all right, buggy us. I'll go for East.
What do you say, you two idiots?
Yeah, that's right. Oh dear, what a great 8-point lead now. We've gone past the 30-minute mark.
This is over.
Back in the centre of the ground.
Big improvement from 2 weeks back, I can tell you that. This time McIntyre gets the ball out of the middle only as far as Hayes. Hayes picks the ball up, put the handle away, went towards O'Keefe. He had a fresh air shot, picked up Lemon Clennon. They tried to work the ball through the corridor.
In the back, he's got it right again, this
slow
bloke.
things down.
There's a siren!
At least Geelong.
The Eagles, we're flying high.
13-9. 8-7, is it? And it is a 9-point and 11-13 to Inverleigh. Goal kickers for the day. For the home side, 4 each to Watson Searle and Corner Mars. Grub. 2 each to, 2 to Billy Andrew, 1 each to Smith, Menzies and McGrath. And for the home side, Dixon and O'Keefe and McEwen Walsh, all with 2. 1 to Mays, Donahue, Love, Robertson and Manganelli.
What a magnificent game, mate.
Yes.
There were times there when I thought Inverleigh were just going to exert their class and win. And the Eagles just wouldn't bloody well let them. They just kept at them and at them and at them. And I'll tell you what, first we saw the Bannockburn game, and now we've seen this game. And if it hasn't opened up this season, then I'm not here. 6 weeks ago, I said Inverleigh will win. They would have won it last year. They will win it this year without any problems. And now 4 points over Bannockburn, a 9-point loss here to East. And we've got West sitting on top of the ladder undefeated, the only undefeated side in the competition. And they're kicking 1 million points a week. So when they kick straight, look out. Although they've got a tough run coming up, we'll see how good they are. They will be, and we'll go and see them too a couple of times, I think. But if they're having an afternoon tea, of course. But look, that was a great game to watch. I thought Tyquin was outstanding till half time. He probably finished up with 36, I reckon. I stopped. But he got well into the 30s, and I thought he could have been a different. But he did die out a little bit. I don't know if they put someone on him or he just died out. Donahue, he wasn't the match winner that he can normally be. Dalton Grundle, I think Dalton's struggling a little bit. We've seen him twice now. He's not playing quite as well as I know he can play. But on the other side, oh, geez, I reckon I could name 18 or 22 of them that just weren't champions. But by crikey, did they try? Did they give everything? And when you do that, you're always a chance to win. And they did win, like I said they were going to.
Well, we will go back to the studio, David, have a little sponsorship announcement clearance while Grubby gets his breath. And we'll come back and go through the game in a bit deeper analysis. This has been the match of the day at the Moreton Power Oval. Upset. East Geelong beating Inverleigh, the previously undefeated, and haven't lost a game for, 17 in a row they've won. First loss for since 2019 for the Inverleigh Footy Club.
We're fire.
Today, and we've seen probably the best 8 quarters of footy we've seen for the year. 2 great games. I don't know if this one quite matched Anzac Day for quality, but it certainly matched for excitement. 8-point win to the East Geelong team. Inverleigh's first loss since 2019, and it was one we perhaps, well, apart from Grubby, we didn't see it coming at 3/4 time. But they've done a pretty good job, East, and they certainly now have, well, internally they'll definitely have the confidence that they will go into September full of enthusiasm. But Grubby, is it one of those cases where for Inverleigh it might be a good loss to have?
No, I never really believe in that at this time of the year. A little bit later on, just to stop them from being too overconfident, in 3 or 4 rounds' time. I think against the side that they may play, or will play in the finals, may play in the grand final. You like to keep a winning record against those sides, especially the way Inverleigh East Geelong went about it. They just never gave up. And as I said earlier, there were times when you thought Inverleigh's class would just come to the fore. They kicked a couple in a row, and you thought, oh, now East have to fight, and fight they did. They had some really good players. I tell you what, I don't know how our votes are going to go, but I'd like to give a dinner for 2 for that bloke that smothered that ball coming the other way. That's what I come to the footy to see. Blokes throwing their bodies on the line at people's boots and smothering it because they're off. Inverleigh were off and could have won the game there. That was just sensational. Who was that kid that done that? Young Monahan. And I tell you what, I liked him for the whole game. I don't know whether he had enough touches of the footy to be in the best three, but the way he went about the whole 4 quarters of the game, he was one of the blokes that kept East in the running when Inverleigh looked like they were going to run away or could have run away with it. Look, disappointing last time I seen East, but by geez, I've changed my mind about it now. Today, they were absolutely terrific. And I'll tell you what, Inverleigh were good too. It was just a great game to watch. I thought their elder players, their veterans, their champion players, if you like, I thought they would get them to the fore, but they just couldn't quite get over the line. And after they kicked that last goal east, I thought, hello, this is the biggest upset we've seen since a long, long time. And as I said, it opens up the final series. You've now got Bannockburn that can run Inverleigh close. You've got Eastern have beaten them. You've got West haven't lost a game, and their test will come in the next few weeks. It's just great for GDFL football. I love it. Love it.
It is magnificent. Thompson got away to a fly, but they couldn't hang on. Bannockburn, 12-point winners there. We've seen East win by 8 here. Winchelsea got away comfortably, and then 17-16, 118. North Geelong 6-8, 44. We've bogged on the scoreboard at Bellpost Hill. They were leading 43-10. As Grubby pointed out, Werribee winners by 23 points over Anarchy. And Geelong West very comfortable. 16-21, 117. Belmont Lions 6-7, 43. And we've had some trouble. Well, the Royal We. I've had trouble giving votes all year, but I don't think I'm going to have as much trouble because today I might need a little bit of time. Dale, you've seen a few good games of footy. You've seen a few good teams. Did you see enough today to suggest that Inverleigh are a shaky finals team, or that they've got a few out to come back? Is it a loss that might just rev them up?
Look, as I said, it's never a good time to lose a game of footy at any stage of the year. Like I said, you'd like to go through, you go and win every game and be Premiership champions. That would be something they may have set themselves at the start of the year. But again, you're not going to be able to play at your very, very best all the way through. I think we said here before the game, and Mick Filer lost 5 or 6 blokes that can come back into the side. Again, are they short term, are they long term, and then what happens to the existing playing group? As I said, for East Geelong, they lose Sam Lowe today, which is probably going to hurt them more in the long run. Let's hope he can get himself back and right before they get to their finals campaign, because, as I said, the turnaround from 2 weeks ago against Bellpost Hill to what I saw today, I know conditions change and all the rest of it, but that was a far more improved side and an effort that was warranting of the game of football they played today. So they can play that game of football. They've shown me that that's now, because we've heard about it, and now they've shown us, I think, they are right in the mix. As I said, Grubby mentioned there's 4 sides. You've still got Thompson running around, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see. And the Belfast Hill is still in the mix, so it's good at the top end of the GDFL football at the present time.
All right, I'm going to go first. I'll jump straight into the mire and have my miserable reputation torn to pieces. I don't mind that. I'm going to give 1 vote to Harry Monahan, the aforementioned smotherer late in the game. But I thought his effort right across the 4 quarters in the back line for East Geelong was really good. I'm going to give 2 votes to Luke Wilson from Inverleigh, who I thought was up against pre-match the competition's best ruckman, and he made him look like a moderately good ruckman. I thought Wilson won the majority of the tap-outs, a lot of work around the ground to keep his team in the game. And I reckon if you're playing in the midfield and rack up something like 30 and kick 4 goals, you've got to be close to the best on the ground. So I'm going to give that to Tom Cordner-Mars from East Geelong.
Well, I agree with some of them, but not all of them. I'm going to
Wouldn't have expected you to.
I couldn't get. I didn't put East player into the top block today, so I thought they played the patches, and I tried to look at the whole game and get some consistency over the 3 quarters. So my 3 votes went to McGrath for East Geelong on their forward line. I thought he presented to the ball today.
Bloody hell, 5 great touches.
But they were quality, and that's when you need them to be there. And I thought he did pretty well. I thought Monahan, I agree, was sensational most of the day and was a really good defender. Their whole defence actually stood up a lot better than I thought they would. And I like to go with McIntyre through the middle of the ground here, the number of possessions, and I thought he set them up pretty nicely from there as well.
Well, Richard, it's up to you to work out who's going to be eating some Wagyu beef.
I forgot my votes, and I didn't write them down. 35, 36 touches. I've got to go for Tyquin again for one, but he did drop out of the game. I actually had Luke Wilson in there, but I just thought McLennan got back in that second half and done all right. So I ended up leaving him out. I can't remember who I gave two to, but it doesn't matter because I gave 3 votes to Cord the Mars. I thought he was terrific all day. So he would win that from there, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. Yep. He'd be chewing on a bit of Wagyu. No, very good.
Oh, I tell you, I give 2 votes. I had 2 Inverleigh players in it. I thought the only winner for Inverleigh all day was Jack Follett. I thought he was sensational. The bloke on him hardly touched the footy.
Yep.
Good game again. He's just got that ability to know when to leave his opponent and when to stay on him, which a couple of times East Geelong didn't. And I thought, well, but no, I gave 2 to Jack, but no, 3 to Cord the Mars. I thought he was terrific. What did he finish up with? 4?
Yeah.
They're very unlucky not to get 5 or 6, and I thought he was the best player.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear. Yeah, he's got a bit putrid in the commentary box.
Can you spell his name?
Cordner, C-O-R-D-N-E-R.
What's his first name?
Tom.
Thomas.
You've
got the team sheet anyway.
Now, I think we may have solved the problem. The only trouble is you operate in the area. Is it possible to get this wonderful carriage that we're sitting in into the Western Oval this Saturday afternoon?
Well, that's a good question. I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know. They obviously call GFL football from there, so what do they do?
I think they go up there.
Want to make some inquiries. We might have something better than a bus, have we? And we've proved today.
Well, who said we'll go on there for a start?
Well, I'm just putting it out there that they've got a home game against Bellpost Hill next week.
And who do they play the week after?
They've got East Geelong the week after and Inverleigh the week after that.
Yeah. So we're not seeing them 3 in a row. I can tell you that now.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't want to, would you? Well, I know we're not.
You don't. You've either got the Giants and Belfast Hill. We're not going to see anything from online. We've seen that.
There's one other good game. Who did Thompson play?
Thompson and Inverleigh here.
Inverleigh and Thompson here.
Yeah.
Well, we've been here. Oh, well, we'll give West a go then. We'll give West a go. Just find out if they've got afternoon tea, otherwise I'm not going.
You could use, get a few frequent flyer points in the car and we can go and see where have we played at Lynch.
No. Not doing that.
And,
because we're not allowed to see them 2 in a row.
And the other alternative is Bannockburn, North Geelong, which won't be much of a game on recent form. So it is the match of the round. We haven't seen them, so it might be a case of doing them and then maybe save them up for Inverleigh a fortnight after.
Yeah.
Might be the best option.
But we will not be seeing them 3 weeks ago.
No. And in the middle of that, when they take on East Geelong at East, we have got, well, if we're ever going to take a trip to Winch, they're playing Belmont Lions. That might be the best option.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We've got a past players day.
Don't worry about it.
We're up the highway, Rob.
I tell you, but I'll give you the chance, right? Because the way things are going, Werribee could lose by 20 to 25 goals. So if you don't want to go, I'll say, all right, we won't go.
Is that the Bannockburn game?
Yeah. So if you don't want to go, I'll say, all right. But
we'll see how we go as we get closer. It has been a
I'm going no matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going with the past players no matter what. Put it that way. If you just want to do another game, that's up to you because they will get people well.
It looks like, gentlemen, we have a top 6, and so there's going to be a pretty handy side that's not going to play finals this year again.
Well, not according to Cooper Greg on Dennis Scanlon's program. He said the 5 set.
Is it?
Yeah. I'd love to talk to him and see which side's not going to play. Because I'm
so
buggered if I can pick it just now.
Bellpost still aren't going to make it in his mind. I think Thompson is the least impressive of the 5 at the 6 at the moment, but they're a long way from the ordinary side, so I think there's every chance to get it. So it is a great year of footy again, and again today has proven that the premiership is wide open as it was last year.
You bet it is. You bet it's. Well, I didn't think it was last year. I thought Inverleigh were going to go through and win it easily. But now, a 4-point win against Bannockburn, a 9-point loss today. I know they got players to come back, but the season is open, and that's what GDFL want.
No, it's really, really, really good. Very impressive. Zach Smith today was well held by Follett, kicked that magnificent goal with the win early in the piece, but just couldn't get his hands on it until he was injured. We didn't see much of him about midway the third quarter. I think he went down. Watson Searle was very good as a replacement. I mean, he kicked 4 goals from the opportunities he had. Was pretty good. So they've got a forward line which is relying on bits and pieces. Dale, do you think that's a good thing to have going into a finals, or would you like to see a key forward that they can really put a little bit of time into?
I think what they got, what they put out there now is pretty good. I think the last week play into the forward line, I think it's good. I think when he's going to get better and better, the bigger the grounds he plays on, I think the more room he's got, I think he'll find that he will get better and better. This year, yeah, Delito was a backman, but Dowsett, I thought he was good today. He got a lot of the ball, but probably didn't use it.
Early he didn't, but I thought he was.
Billy Andrew popped up through the forward half. Lempert can go forward. Zach Smith will obviously be back in time. They've got some options there. I don't think their forwards is going to be a problem for them. I think they'll be able to hit with a lot of players.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Who they got out? That's the thing I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Besakuru pulled out late.
Yep.
So he's a good player. Yep. I'm not sure I agree 100% on Menzies and Mulvale yet. I think they're good players now. But I think in the years to come, they're going to be absolute great players, but they're just not quite there yet every week.
I think I'm most excited about Menzies being a forward who can kick goals, but the best of them is probably that young kid Crombie, who didn't play today. He's been really impressive.
He's a good kid,
and
but
he wasn't there today, so he will strengthen their side.
But in this competition, you can't mark everything. No. And what worries me, I watched him today, he's still a little bit slow and gangly to pick the ball up off the ground, young Menzies. I saw it a couple of times, but he'll get that because he is going to be a ripper. Don't worry about that.
And his ruck work in the forward line, when his body gets stronger, you noticed it early when you reckon he might have pushed his opponent out.
Yeah.
You got that lovely tap to Court Namasu, then kicked that left foot goal. So he's got some real smarts about him as well.
Oh, no doubt. He's going to be a footballer. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, very impressive. All right, so we're heading to the Western Oval next week for what will be a great game. The undefeated. Remember those days of the Cheetahs, eh?
Oh, in the backyard.
The Cheetahs on top of the ladder, undefeated. What a good sound it is for the comp.
Kick the ball off the side of the boot. You had to go 2 houses over to get it. and you looked at them in them days and said, where are they going to go, these ball buggers? They're not winning and that. And, and all of a sudden, as you say, they're undefeated on top. The next 3 weeks, we'll see if they remain there. And I hope they do, because it's good for GDFNL football. They have different teams in it.
Yeah, I was talking to Mitch White, their coach, this morning, and asked him about that Giants collaboration with the GFL. I know there's a few people in the GDFL that perhaps look at that they might get a little bit of advantage with points and player management thing, like blokes dropping back from the GFL within the same club. But if it's a concept that could be a blueprint for others to use, perhaps a GDFL club connecting themselves with a GFL club, but just for the growth of footy around Geelong. But West seem to be doing it really well.
Yeah, really, really well. And I'm not commenting. I'm going. See,
yeah, okay. It's going to be a discussion as it goes on, but I know the AFL Barwon and the Geelong District Footy League are going to have to manage that really well.
So what are we talking about? They can't come from one to the other.
Well, there is suggestions.
They get points reduction from them, mate.
Yeah, there's suggestions that if you're a seconds player in the GFL side and you drop down within your own club to play seniors in the GDFL.
No, they can't do that now.
No, not during the year.
No.
But at the end of the year. So as far as points go, well, he's outplayed.
Exactly.
This is where it's got to be managed properly. Because if he comes from St Mary's and he's worth 3 points, well, he should be worth 3 points to come from West as well. So this is the thing that they're going to have to manage.
So, okay, so I agree totally with that.
Yeah.
Smithy, can you shut him up and say, let's go home?
You want to go home,
bye, everybody?
Oh, I just thought you're grumpy. David, get Elvis going. Warm the great man up.
Otherwise, it'll be gone on me.
Next week, we're going to the Western Oval, Geelong West versus Bellpost Hill. David, thank you very much for your support again today. We really appreciate it. We had a wobbly start, but a fantastic finish, and it's all been due to your good work. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the day. Big winners, East Geelong, inflicting Inverleigh's first loss for 2 years.
Righto.